Chapter 538. Baya lowered her eyes. There was a strange feeling in her heart. She didn't know why, but she felt cold. She was a little afraid to know the answer. But she must know the answer before she could be at ease. The car took many turns. Baya couldn't tell which road he was taking. But he was very familiar with these roads. If he wasn't Gu Lingqing, could he be Gu Tianheng? Baya hugged him tightly. She leaned her face on his back and listened to his strong heartbeat. Xiaoya, don't doubt me anymore. I love you, Xing Buhua said in a low voice. Baya didn't answer. She closed her eyes. Sometimes she knew that she shouldn't, but her heart would still be scared and her thoughts would still be driven. Xing Buhua sighed. Half an hour later, the car stopped. Baya opened her eyes and saw a small house inside. The lights were on. She got off the car in surprise. Xing Buhua opened the door. Dad. She heard Gu Ruoxin's voice. She walked over slowly. Gu Ruoxin saw Baya. He looked unhappy and turned his face away. Baya also saw Gu Ruoxin, the doctor, the teacher, the nanny and a little girl. She didn't know this little girl. Draw blood for me and Xiao Xian, Xing Buhua said to the doctor. He sat on the chair and stretched out his hand. The doctor obeyed. He took a disposable blood storage device and pressed on Xing Buhua's finger. Blood came out and the blood storage device sucked it. He handed the blood storage device to Baya. Baya took it. The doctor drew blood for Xiao Xian and gave Xiao Xian's blood storage device to Baya. Baya grasped the two blood containers and understood Xing Buhua's intentions. You'll feel more assured if you take the test yourself. Find someone who's close to you. I'll send you back after I'm done with Xiao Xian's homework. I won't be accompanying you today, Xing Buhua said in a low voice. I'm sorry, Baya apologized. I told you I don't blame you. It's good that you did this. At least no one can impersonate me, Xing Buhua said reasonably. Baya lowered her eyes and watched as Xing Buhua checked Xiao Xian's homework. She missed Xiao Yan, but in the current situation, it was too dangerous for Xiao Yan to return. Half an hour later, Xing Buhua drove her back. Neither of them spoke, and the atmosphere was tense. Baya took a deep breath and broke the silence. Who's that little girl? She's my comrade's daughter. Her parents are dead and her grandparents are dead. She was bullied at her aunt's house, so I brought her back. On one hand, I wanted to keep Xiao Xian company so that Xiao Xian won't be lonely. On the other hand, I can take care of her. It's a critical period now, so I hid them here. As long as Sheng Dongqing and his people find Xiao Xian, they'll be able to confirm that I'm Gu Lingqing, Xing Buhua explained. You're too bold to attack Sheng Dongqing directly. You'll be in danger. I've already arranged people to protect you. Don't do it again or I'll be worried, Xing Buhua said in a low voice. Shen Yan didn't allow me to enter the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and the cabinet, so I was too impulsive. Plus, it's too dangerous for our people to stay with Sheng Dongqing. Su Jieran has been by Sheng Dongqing's side for so many years, but he hasn't been able to get anything on Sheng Dongqing. It's difficult for our people. So we carried out the plan. I'll use public opinion to attack. At least we can pull him off the horse, Baya explained. He'll at least care about his reputation when he's on the horse. If you pull him off the horse, he'll do something desperate, Xing Buhua said worriedly. The more desperate he is, the more we'll have a chance to counterattack. I'll wait for him to make a mistake, Baya said fearlessly. That's too dangerous for you. Baya smiled. I'm not afraid. I just want to be with you as soon as possible. There are many people who die for no reason in this world. Earthquakes, car accidents, viruses. At least I'll die for a reason. Xing Buhua suddenly stopped the car and looked at her angrily. I won't allow you to die. Baya looked at his bloodshot eyes and her heart trembled. How can that be? You have so many people to protect me. I'll be fine. In the future, discuss with me when you do such things. Don't be alone. Also, you don't have to worry about the healthcare department. I've already entered it. Within a month, I'll make the healthcare department mine. Okay. Baya smiled. I really want to be with you, Xing Buhua said. But not today. If he stayed with her, she wouldn't believe the results of the paternity test. Very soon, after I get rid of Sheng Dongqing, I can be with you openly, Baya said gently. Okay, sit tight. Let's go. Xing Buhua started the car. Asterisk at 7 in the morning, Baiya woke up. The first thing she did was to check the surveillance cameras. No one had touched the blood storage device. She brushed her teeth and washed up. Then she opened the door and shouted, Lin Shulan. No one answered her. She remembered that she had asked Lin Shulan to follow Qiu Ting. Was he not back yet? She called Lin Shulan. Where are you? I'm at the A Group International Hotel. Qiu Ting went into her room and didn't come out. I asked the people from the Third Eye to follow her, but they didn't see her come out or anyone go into her room, Lin Shulan reported. You don't have to follow her anymore. Come back and rest, Baiya said. Lin Shulan said, Zhang Xingyu and I will take turns to monitor her. It's not tiring. We've been following her for a day. If we keep following her, we'll know what she wants us to know. It's meaningless. Come back and rest. Okay, I'll be back now. Baiya hung up the phone and asked a soldier to send her to the hospital. She went straight to the laboratory and watched them do the test. Half an hour later, the results came out. She looked at the test report and breathed a sigh of relief. The result was paternity. She was too tired and had too many things to do. That was why her imagination ran wild. Fortunately, very fortunately, he was Gu Lingqing. Baiya put her hand on her forehead and smiled. She got into the car and looked out of the window. A figure flashed in front of her. It looked like Lu Shuang. Baiya quickly opened the door and walked in the direction where the person disappeared. The person was gone. Was it another illusion? She called Lung Shuang. Help me check around the general hospital. Just now was it Lu Shuang? Baiya knocked her head. How could she be so excited that she couldn't speak properly? I'll send you Lu Shuang's photo first. If it's really him, help me track her, Baiya said anxiously. Okay. Baiya found Lu Shuang's photo on her phone and sent it to Lung Shuang. She paced around anxiously. Lung Shuang called. It's her. She's in the car now. She's heading to Wui Road. I'll send her location to your phone. Chapter 539. Baiya caught up with Lu Shuang at the entrance of the International Hotel in a land and shouted excitedly, Shuang Niu. Lu Shuang paused and turned his head to look at Baiya. There was only desolation and calmness in his eyes, without any emotion. Baiya was so excited that she ignored Lu Shuang's abnormality. She hugged Lu Shuang and said in a choked voice, You're back. Why did you come back? How was your life in D-Land? I missed you. I missed you so much. Lu Shuang looked into the distance expressionlessly. The winter sun shone through the leaves. It was very white, but for her, there was no warmth at all. She said coldly, Enough with the hypocrisy. Just give me some breathing room. Baiya's body stiffened. She looked at Lu Shuang with red eyes. There was guilt, regret, expectation, and strong feelings. I'm sorry for what happened last time. Baiya apologized. Can your apology bring my mother back to life? Can it bring my father back to life? Can it bring Xiaobao back to life? Lu Shuang asked coldly. Baiya looked at Lu Shuang in shock. Her heart was instantly locked. Didn't you say that only your mother had an accident? How could Bobo and Xiaobao have it? Thanks to you, I have become a lonely man like you, Lu Shuang said coldly. Baiya held Lu Shuang's hand and said sincerely, Shuang Niu, let me take care of you from now on. Take care of me? I heard that Gu Lingqing is dead. How are you going to take care of me? Lu Shuang shook off Baiya's hand. I have the ability now. Trust me, Baiya said with misty eyes. Lu Shuang took a step back. He shook his head and said, I don't dare. I can't die now. I still have a lot of things to do. I know. You came back to take revenge. I'll help you. Baiya walked towards Lu Shuang anxiously. Help me? Lu Shuang sneered. You're also my accomplice. Baiya's heart sank. So, put away your hypocrisy. I don't need it. Lu Shuang said coldly and then turned around and entered the hotel. Baiya stood at the entrance of the hotel in a daze, his eyes filled with bitterness. She and Lu Shuang supported each other as they walked over. She could not be with Gu Lingqing for the sake of Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang was willing to be with someone he didn't love for her. Lu Shuang had saved her, helped her, and sincerely considered everything from her standpoint. Now that Lu Shuang was back, although he didn't forgive her, she should try her best. Baiya called Leng Shuang. The girl who asked you to investigate is called Lu Shuang. She is now living in an international hotel in a land. Can you send more people to hold her? I'll pay for all the expenses. We'll do as you say, madam. Also, the international media is pressuring us to pay a huge amount of compensation. This involves our country's reputation and diplomacy. It's a serious matter. I'm going to a meeting now, Leng Shuang said. Okay. Baiya hung up. She got into the car, leaned back on the seat, and closed her eyes to rest. The car was stopped in the middle of its journey. Madam! The soldier shouted alertly. Baiya glanced around. There were surveillance cameras, and the people opposite did not cover their faces. Don't worry. She opened the car door and got out. An officer walked up to her. We're President Shun's people. Please come with us to the Senate. Baiya understood and chuckled. Shen Yan was indeed a good person. Whoever started the trouble should end it. She followed them to the Senate. Along the way, there were dignified and solemn soldiers. The atmosphere was especially solemn, and it was shrouded in a tense atmosphere. The soldiers brought Baiya to the entrance of the Senate. The security at the entrance was even tighter. The soldiers exchanged documents, and a soldier pushed open the closed door. Baiya walked in, and all eyes looked at her. Some were curious, some were surprised, some were hateful, and some were respectful. Shen Yan, who was in charge of the meeting, said, Baiya is Mr. Allen's good friend. This matter concerns Mr. Allen. I think asking her to help will make things easier. I'm friends with Allen, but I don't know much about politics. Perhaps, the only thing I can do is to give you Allen's phone number so that you can communicate privately, Baiya said calmly. It's all because of you. You're endangering the interests of the country. Sheng Dongqing stood up agitatedly and pointed at Baiya. Baiya looked at Sheng Dongqing and asked, I don't understand what Mr. Sheng is talking about. Why is it all because of me? Do you really think that I can solve such a big problem with just one sentence? And how am I endangering the interests of the country? You're still pretending. The person who set the fire was obviously your people, Sheng Dongqing said as he slammed the table. Baiya became serious, and her tone became sharper. You can eat whatever you want, but you can't say whatever you want. The person who set the fire was my people? I'm a woman and I'm pregnant now. I'm recuperating at home, and I don't even participate in work. You're telling me that the person who set the fire was my people? According to your logic, international terrorist organizations are all my people. They're all my people. Gu Lingqing arranged them among my people to set me up on purpose, Sheng Dongqing blurted out. You're such a cautious person. How could you arrange them among your people? Besides, you've always been at odds with Gu Lingqing. How could he convince you to take in his people? Also, you're saying that they're your people, right? Baiya questioned. Sheng Dongqing's face turned red with anger. I didn't know that they were among my people. I suddenly thought of something. You're the finance minister. How do you take in people? Is the person who set the fire also in the finance department? As soon as Baiya's voice fell, everyone was in an uproar. I suddenly thought of something. A long time ago, you and my late husband had a lawsuit. Zhou Hailan said that my late husband had a secret organization. And then he said that you, Sheng Dongqing, had a secret organization. It's normal for my husband to have a secret organization, because it's needed by the army. However, the things that these secret organizations do are all recorded in the files. Mr. Sheng, may I ask if the things that your secret organization does are recorded in the files? If not, it means that your secret organization is illegal. Baiya continued. Leng Ying stood up and said to everyone present, after investigation, the person who set the fire was Chao Yonggang, who was confirmed to be dead a few days ago. According to Chao Yonggang, the people in Sheng Dongqing's secret organization are all like this. I've investigated and sorted out a list of 32 people who were found dead. I believe that there are more people in Sheng Dongqing's secret organization. Chao Yonggang said that he was sentenced to death on a groundless charge, and then he was saved by Sheng Dongqing. Sheng Dongqing even moved his family away. Chapter 540. Bulsh**T You're accusing me of something dirty. Sheng Dongqing cursed angrily. What do you think is dirty? Baya asked calmly. Sheng Dongqing was stunned. I do have some of my own people, but the president knows about them. I got the president's approval, and everything I did was recorded in the archives. Sheng Dongqing dragged Shin Yan into the mess on purpose. All eyes were on Shin Yan. Shin Yan smiled. Are you saying that the president is my father? Sheng Dongqing shot out a faint cold light, angrily staring at Shin Yan. He gritted his teeth and said one word, yes. Since there is a file, I should be able to find it. But the most pressing issue now is the Allen incident. We need to give an international reply. Shin Yan solved the problem. His words could save Sheng Dongqing, but he could also destroy Sheng Dongqing. It all depended on what he was thinking. Baya was worried that Shin Yan was not only good at strategizing, but he was also very calm and rational. He would guide the public opinion. It would be very dangerous for Lu Shuang to fight with him. Allen is your friend. He won't pursue the matter, Sheng Dongqing said. I can try calling him. Baya called Allen in front of everyone, and turned on the speaker. The phone rang 3 times and Allen answered. Allen, I heard that you've applied for international arbitration. Is it that serious? Baya asked. Allen paused for 3 seconds. Baya, I'm very sorry. This is a malicious murder and arson. The other party used weapons and force. I don't understand. I'm doing business normally and I don't offend the government or anyone. Why did this happen? I believe that no foreigner dares to invest in your country. I'm very disappointed that my family has invested in it. We can discuss the compensation you want. Don't alert the international community, right? You? Why is it you? I'm in the council now. They said that we're good friends, so it's more convenient for us to talk, Baya explained. This has nothing to do with you, Xiaoya. I have more than a dozen investments in country A. I think this is malicious. I'm worried that the same thing will happen to other investments. I'm sorry, I can't promise you that. That was all done by your good friend. Sheng Dongqing pointed at Baya and roared. Who is the speaker? Allen asked. Sheng Dongqing, the head of the finance department. I heard that the person who started the fire was his man. Baya said. Allen sneered. He has a grudge against you? Forget it. It seems that I've been implicated by you. If that's the case, I need to apply for international arbitration, Allen said with certainty. Allen, give me 3 days. I'll definitely give you a satisfactory answer after 3 days, okay? International arbitration is too serious, Baya pleaded. Allen paused for 5 seconds. All right, Xiaoya. I'll give you 3 days for your sake. I'll hang up first. I still have things to do here. Thank you. Baya hung up and looked at Shin Yan. I've made the call and spoken according to your request. There are some things that can't be resolved with just a sentence from me. Let's discuss this, Shin Yan said to the council members. Baya looked at Leng Shuai. They looked at each other and looked away. She felt that Leng Shuai would understand. Leng Shuai couldn't help but look at Baya with admiration. There was a lot of discussion in the meeting room. We feel that the arsonist must be brought to justice and given the most severe punishment. Only then can Allen's hatred be appeased, Zhuqiuani said. Do you really think that killing a henchman will work? Moreover, this henchman was forced to do so. His family is in the hands of others, Leng Shuai retorted. What do you mean, General Leng? Zhuqiuani frowned. I think that we need to show Allen our sincerity and let him continue to invest in a nation without worry. A gentleman's crime is the same as a commoner's. Many foreign investors are watching Allen's case now, Leng Shuai said. The question is, what sincerity does he want to see? Someone asked. Everyone's eyes were on Baya's face. Baya smiled. I'll ask now. She called Allen again and turned on the speaker. Allen, we're discussing here. I want to show you the greatest sincerity. Can you tell me what you need? I need the person behind the scenes to give me an explanation. After all, my loss is more than 100 million, and 5 of my employees are dead, Allen said forcefully. The problem now is that we've only caught 1 henchman. We can't confirm the person behind the scenes yet. Baya's eyes were on Sheng Dongqing's face. Really? Is this what you mean by sincerity? Allen was obviously disappointed. I can't be the scapegoat just because May did it. I didn't do it. This is all a setup. Sheng Dongqing ran over and snatched the phone. Then let the person who did it come out, Alan said rationally. Sheng Dongqing stared at Bai Ye. We're willing to compensate you 3 times of your loss, Sheng Dongqing said. This is just one of my investments. All of my investments add up to more than 3 times of yours. I can guarantee for your other investments. There won't be any problems. If there are any problems, I'll compensate you 10 times of it, Sheng Dongqing said. Okay, then let's sign the contract. I can promise to call you privately. Besides, I don't need to be targeted by your country and other businesses, Alan said cautiously. No, you can rest assured. Our country is very trustworthy, Sheng Dongqing said. Then I'll ask my people to sign the contract with you this afternoon. After I receive the money and the contract, I'll cancel the international arbitration, Alan said and hung up the phone. Sheng Dongqing, you're really satisfied as the finance minister. You're using the country's money to pay for yourself, Leng Shuai said angrily. I'm doing it for the long-term interests of our country. What do you mean by using the country's money to pay for me? Sheng Dongqing retorted angrily. It's your fault. As long as you're brought to justice, it'll be the greatest sincerity we can show to Irene, Leng Shuai said. Sheng Dongqing slammed the table. T. Someone blamed Gu Lingqing's death on me. Now someone is blaming me for this. Do you think I'm a pushover? I strongly request for Sheng Dongqing to be removed from the finance minister position. Otherwise, we won't be able to answer to the public. Leng Shuai stood up and said. What right do you have to remove me? Who are you to remove me? Since the problem has been solved, let's go. Sheng Dongqing walked out of the meeting room angrily. This Sheng Dongqing is too arrogant. He's talking nonsense. I think he's the culprit. He offered 3 times of the compensation without going through our parliament. Is he really hiding the truth from the masses? If he's still the finance minister, I think the country will be in a huge deficit. Chapter 541. Bai Ye, come with me, Shen Yiyan said in a low voice. She followed Shen Yiyan out of the door and into the meeting room next door. Shen Yiyan's soldiers closed the door behind them. Is it really what you want to see to push the country into the limelight in order to deal with Sheng Dongqing? Are you sure this is what Gu Lingqing wants you to do? Shen Yiyan asked back. First of all, it's not me who pushed the country into the limelight. Secondly, if I really wanted to push the country into the limelight, I wouldn't have come here. Thirdly, don't talk to me about the country. I don't think you deserve it, Bai Ye said coldly. Stop. This is enough, isn't it? Shen Yiyan said in a low voice with a hint of warning. Don't force me to attack you. Attack me? Why? Just because you think that I dealt with Sheng Dongqing, you want to attack me? Bai Ye asked calmly. You can burn down Alan's factory in order to deal with Sheng Dongqing. You even didn't hesitate to implicate innocent people and let Alan apply for international arbitration. This has affected the interests of the country. If all the foreign investors withdraw from the investment in country A, then the country's loss will be serious. It will also affect country A's international status. I'm going against you not because you dealt with Sheng Dongqing, but because you are blinded by hatred and hurt the interests of the country. I don't need you to do anything worse, Shen Yiyan said in a low voice. If I really wanted to harm the national interest, I wouldn't have come. You understand, you know, and you also know how not to affect the national interest. Whether or not the national interest is harmed is up to you, not me. Now if you want to incriminate me, you can always find a way to frame me, Bai Ye said coldly. So you don't want to stop, right? Shen Yiyan saw her determination. Bai Ye chuckled and looked at Shen Yiyan coldly. Lu Shuang is back. If you don't want to hurt him, don't look for him. My people are already protecting him. What? Shen Yiyan didn't expect Bai Ye to suddenly change the topic. He paused, and his eyes flashed with sadness, worry, hope and surprise. He held Bai Ye's shoulder excitedly. Lu Shuang is back. Where is he now? His parents are dead and so is Xiaobao, Bai Ye said coldly. Shen Yiyan paused again. His breathing became tense and he frowned in disbelief. What are you talking about? Wasn't her mother the one who died? How did her father die? How did Xiaobao die? Sheniyan, you should know your current situation. In the past, you didn't have the ability to protect Lu Shuang. Now you know very well that your position is precarious. You can't have any instability. For the sake of Lu Shuang's safety, please let him go. That's all I want to say. It's getting late. I should go back, Baiye said. He turned around, opened the door and went out. Sheniyan was stunned for a while, and then he came to himself. He knew that he shouldn't look for Lu Shuang. He knew that he was in a precarious situation, and he couldn't make any mistakes. But he couldn't control his heart. He missed her, wanted to see her, wanted to know what had happened to her. He wanted to know why Xiao Bao and his parents had passed away. He wanted to make it up to her, and heal the wound in her heart. Sheniyan made a phone call. Find out where Lu Shuang is now. I want to know the answer in 15 minutes. 15 minutes later, Sheniyan got the answer. Lu Shuang was in room 1102 of the International Hotel in City A. He didn't bring any bodyguards with him. He put on sunglasses, a mask, and a cap and took a taxi to the International Hotel in City A. He stood at the door of room 1102. His hands were trembling. He thought of many possibilities that Lu Shuang would see him. She would hate him, scold him, and even want to kill him. Even if she wanted to kill him, he would accept it. This time he wouldn't let her go. Sheniyan rang the doorbell. The door opened. Lu Shuang stood in the door and looked at the armed man in front of him with drooping eyes. Sheniyan saw that she was much thinner than before and her chin was pointy. He felt sorry for her and hugged her tightly. His voice was hoarse and his breath was a little short. Shuang, don't leave me again. Lu Shuang looked out of the door. She recognized him at first glance. After all, Sheniyan had a unique air of nobility that not many people had. If I wanted to leave, I wouldn't have come back, Lu Shuang said calmly. Sheniyan looked at Lu Shuang. She looked straight at him and raised her eyebrows, but her eyes were red. My mother is dead, my father is dead, and Xiao Bao is also dead. I swear, I will take care of you for the rest of your life, Sheniyan promised. Do you know who killed my mother? Lu Shuang asked directly. I checked. It's a foreign organization. Someone must have hired them. Unfortunately, the organization refused to say a word, Sheniyan explained. Lu Shuang smiled and asked tentatively, Sheniyan, will you kill me? How could I kill you? You are the mother of my child. It's my... Sheniyan paused and continued. Don't worry, even if I kill myself, I won't kill you. Lu Shuang shrugged and looked at her charming eyes. I'll listen for now. Listen for now? This sentence made him feel uncomfortable. Lu Shuang didn't care whether he was comfortable or not. He turned around, went to the bar, poured himself a little red wine, leaned against the bar and looked at him. I haven't seen you for a long time, but you have lost a lot of weight. You too. Sheniyan walked in and closed the door. Lu Shuang took a sip of wine calmly and smiled. I'm on a diet. What's the matter? I miss you. Sheniyan said in a low voice. Lu Shuang smiled and swirled her wine glass lazily. It's my honor to be remembered by the president of country A. However, don't do this anymore in the future. My husband will be jealous and he won't be at ease with me. What? Sheniyan was shocked. She frowned and a sharp look flashed across her eyes. What husband? You're married? Lu Shuang raised an eyebrow. Can't I get married? Sheniyan then realized that she was wearing a 3-carat diamond ring on her finger. Her face was as pale as an ice cave. Who is it? It's none of your business. Lu Shuang said calmly. He had once thought that after she disappeared from his world, she would fall in love with someone else, marry someone else, and give birth to someone else's child. He couldn't bear any of them, so he had to know where she was. He didn't want to disturb her, but he would cut off her romantic relationships like before. He would cut off every one of them, so that he was the only one in her world. He couldn't accept the fact that she was married. There was a knife in his heart, cutting his flesh. It hurt, even more than the death of his parents. She was the only woman he had ever loved and wanted. Chapter 542. Lu Shuang finished the wine in his glass and chuckled. You don't allow it. Why? Is it because you're the president or because you're a married man? Because I love you. Sheniyan blurted out. Lu Shuang laughed so hard that he was about to cry. You love me, so you target my parents. You love me, so you kill my parents. You love me, so you force me to give birth to Xiao Bao and imprison my freedom. If this is love, then I'm sorry, I don't want it. Shen Yan went forward and grabbed Lu Shuang's hand forcefully. He asked firmly, what do I have to do to make you believe me? Lu Shuang wanted to shake his hand off, but he couldn't. He gave up struggling and looked at him coldly. I don't care if you love me or not, because I don't love you. Lu Shuang expressed himself clearly. Shen Yan felt that his heart was about to split open. He lowered his head and kissed her stubborn lips. He kissed her forcefully, as if he was punishing her. Lu Shuang moved back. He held the back of her head so that she couldn't move back. His red tongue entered her mouth. Lu Shuang bit his tongue without thinking. A sharp pain rushed to his brain. He didn't move away. He looked at Lu Shuang deeply. His eyes were filled with pity, guilt and pain. If he was in pain, she could calm down. He wasn't afraid of bleeding. He was only afraid of her leaving. Lu Shuang tasted his sweet blood and it flooded her mouth. He blocked her lips. She couldn't spit it out. She could only swallow it. Her throat and stomach were burning. She could only let go of his tongue. She thought that he would come out, but he didn't. He continued to kiss her. Lu Shuang slapped his face, but he didn't care. He picked her up and put her on the bed. Lu Shuang was furious. He pushed Shen Yan with all his might. He was handsome, but when he was mad, he was like a wild beast. Shen Yan, don't be like this. I'm already someone else's wife. She screamed angrily. He held her hands and pressed them against her side. With red eyes, he said irrationally, your husband can only be me. Who else? Say it. You are so unreasonable. Don't forget that you are married. If you dare to touch me, I will expose you. Mr. President raped a married woman. This title is enough to make you fall from the position of president. Lu Shuang warned. Come down. I don't want to do it anymore. I've sacrificed a lot for this president. Whatever. He said dispiritedly. He lowered his head and kissed her lips. Lu Shuang twisted his body to resist. His kisses trailed down from her lips to her breasts through her clothes. Lu Shuang was sweating profusely. She came back after learning about the situation. She knew that his parents had just died. She knew about what happened to Sheng Dongcheng. She thought that he would avoid meeting her. It seemed that it was a little different from what she had imagined. Beep, beep, beep. The fire officer in the hotel picked her up. Lu Shuang paused. There's a fire. He pulled down her pants and kissed her lips. I don't care. You're crazy. You don't want to live, but I do. Get down. Lu Shuang said anxiously. He unbuckled his belt, zipped up his pants and got down anxiously. It hurt. Lu Shuang frowned and bit his shoulder. He snorted softly and held on to her crotch so that the two of them were even closer to each other. He knew how to get her to the top faster. Lu Shuang didn't want it. But there were many things that he couldn't control. They had been together for 2 years, and were very familiar with each other's bodies. She was annoyed, speechless, and regretful. She fell onto the pillow and panted. Shen Yan knew what her reaction meant. He suddenly understood. You guys don't have this kind of relationship, right? I can feel it. You've only had it with me. Lu Shuang pushed him. We're almost there. Get lost. Shen Yan's eyes sharpened. Almost what? Like this? Lu Shuang was ashamed. When Shen Yan was crazy, no one could argue with him. Get down. Lu Shuang, you can't do this. You just had a good time and now you don't care about me anymore? He said while panting. He didn't want to get down at all. Are you crazy? The fire alarm has been called outside. Shen Yan, your IQ has dropped to the ground. Do you know that? Lu Shuang said angrily. Shen Yan looked at her seductively. Even though she was being sarcastic just now, Lu Shuang was still his Lu Shuang. He lowered his head and kissed her again and again. If I can always be like this with you, I don't want my IQ anymore. Shen Yan, your brain is filled with dirty things. How did you become the president? No wonder. You've become retarded. She moved back. He wanted it even more, but he still kissed her patiently. She turned her face away and pushed his face away. He let go of her hand, knowing that she liked other things. Lu Shuang's entire body was trembling. Another slap landed on his face. He wasn't angry at all. He held her hand and kissed it in his mouth. His mouth was too hot. She pulled her hand out and wiped his saliva on his body. Shen Yiyan smiled brightly. He hadn't been living well these days. Very, very well. There were unhappy things around him. Ever since she left, he wasn't happy at all. But now that she was back, all the troubles, difficulties, and worries were nothing to him. He had regained what he had lost, so he cherished it and was happy. He kissed her lips again. Lu Shuang turned her head away. He kissed her earlobe and called out intimately, "Piggy." Lu Shuang was numb from his kisses. She pushed his face away. "Who's a piggy?" He held her hand again and kissed her palm. She was annoyed. She didn't like him being so sticky. It made her feel hot and uncomfortable. But she was also angry. Anger danced in her eyes. He smiled and kissed her cheeks, her eyes, her forehead, the bridge of her nose, and then her lips. Lu Shuang pushed him hard, but she couldn't move. She pretended to be dead and didn't move at all. Shen Yiyan felt warmth in his heart. She used to like to pretend to be dead. She would always giggle when she couldn't hold it in anymore. His mood would always be abnormally good. They had been separated for 7 months. Every expression of hers, happy, sad, mischievous, troublesome, and wrong, he remembered it all. He liked every expression of hers. He didn't focus on his own enjoyment. He left. Holding his ankle, he kissed her. Lu Shuang sat up in shock. Her back leaned against the back of the bed. He lifted her chin and kissed her. She covered her lips. He had just kissed her there. She twisted and said angrily, "The fire is burning. It's going to be horrible. Are you out of your mind? There's no fire. Baiye's men must have done it on purpose." Shen Yiyan explained. Chapter 543. Stop it. Let's be like before. Except that you can't leave me. I will give you whatever you want. Shen Yiyan coaxed him patiently. Okay, then let's get a divorce. Lu Shuang smiled and a cunning look flashed across his eyes. He said firmly and provocatively, "If you get a divorce, I will marry you. I was just joking when I said that I have a husband." Shen Yiyan smiled. "Okay, you said it. If I get a divorce, you will marry me. But give me 2 years. 2 years will be enough." Lu Shuang sneered. She knew it would be like this. Did Shen Yiyan think that she was an 18-year-old girl? Men lied to women by planning and imagining the future. For example, if a woman believed that a man would get a divorce, it would be silly of her to believe that a man would get a divorce. No matter how beautiful the words were, it was better to do it. Besides, she really didn't like him, let alone love him. So when she heard what he said, she just felt it was funny. "Shen Yiyan, you are right. IQ is really contagious." Lu Shuang said meaningfully. "Is it true that you have a husband, or are you just joking?" Shen Yiyan sensed something unusual. "Make a guess." A light flashed across Shen Yiyan's eyes. She held Lu Shuang's chin and said with certainty, "I will say it again. Your husband can only be me. You can challenge my patience if you want him to die." Lu Shuang narrowed his eyes and looked at her. If she didn't know his stubbornness and knew that he was possessive, she would really think that he really loved her. If he loved her, he wouldn't let the murderer get away with it. Did he think that she didn't know who the murderer was? No, she knew. "I am hungry," Lu Shuang suddenly said. "What?" Shen Yiyan paused. "Didn't you say that you love me? You should know what I like to eat." Lu Shuang said with a smile, and put his arms around the back of her neck. Shen Yiyan looked at her, her eyes filled with tenderness. He was a person who was very good at controlling his emotions, but one sentence from her could change his mood and state of mind. He sighed helplessly. He loved her so much. "I'll go out and buy it for you now. Be good and wait for my arrangements," Shen Yiyan said gently. "Let me think about it," replied Lu Shuang. He didn't want to go out anymore. He just wanted to look at her like this. He sat up, turned on his phone and made a call. "Go to the East Palace and ask them to prepare a few dishes. I'll text you later and have them sent to room 1102 of the International Hotel in Country A." While he was on the phone, Lu Shuang put on his pants and jumped out of bed. Before Shen Yiyan could hang up the phone, He held her hand. Lu Shuang pointed at the washroom. Only then did Shen Yan let go. She found a change of clothes and went to the bathroom to take a shower. Shen Yan wanted to go in, but the door was locked by Lu Shuang after she turned it a few times. 3 black lines appeared on his face. Lu Shuang heard a click, and the door was opened by Shen Yan. She was not shocked and said sarcastically, "Since when did Mr. President learn to be a thief? You're so good at picking locks." Shen Yan walked in. "I've seen every part of your body. Why are you locking the door?" "I like to lock the door. I'm happy to do so. It's none of your business." Lu Shuang rolled his eyes at him. She did not want him to pester her, so she locked the door. He went forward, put his arms around her waist, and pulled her into his arms. He said gently, "If it's none of my business, who can?" "I don't need you to care," Lu Shuang replied. His good mood sank again because of her words. He said domineeringly, "I'm going to care. So I don't think I can live for long. Those people wanted to kill me because of you. Now that you're pestering me, it's no wonder I'm dead. I better go back to Country D and hide." Lu Shuang felt helpless. "No, not this time. I've thought it through. I'll keep you by my side and be my assistant. You'll go wherever I go," Shen Yan said, looking at him with a burning gaze. Actually, he knew that she was willing to stay by his side because she wanted to find the murderer. Lu Shuang was not good at pretending. He nodded, feeling a little uneasy. "Oh yes, how did our Xiaobao die?" Shen Yan asked, looking at Lu Shuang deeply. "There was an outbreak of the N virus in Country D. My father was infected, and so was Xiaobao. So both of them died," Lu Shuang said with his eyes lowered. "When I'm free, I want to visit Xiaobao and your parents. Xiaobao is my child after all, my only flesh and blood. Your parents are also my parents," Shen Yan said with a deep voice, sadness in her eyes. Lu Shuang frowned. He could not tell what he was really thinking. "I know. I'll take a bath. You can go out first." Shen Yan took off her clothes. "Together. I want to take a bath too." Lu Shuang looked at him. "I don't have your clothes here. I'll get someone to send them over. You can stay at my place today. It's safe," Shen Yan said in a deep voice, not giving Lu Shuang any chance to refuse or resist. Lu Shuang did not refuse. She had her own plans. She squatted down in the bathtub and Shen Yan followed her in. She pressed against his hot chest. "It's very small here." "Well, it can only accommodate the 2 of us." Shen Yan looked at her lips and moved closer to her. Lu Shuang stepped back. Sitting in the bathtub, how far could she go? He kissed her lips. Although she was unwilling, under Shen Yan's coercion, she still let him in. She thought that she would just take it as having sex with a handsome guy. Anyway, he was handsome, had a good body and had good tools. She felt much better when she thought of it this way. The landline in the room kept ringing. It was still ringing when she was carried to the bed by Shen Yan. She turned over and picked up the landline. "Hello, I'm the receptionist. Are you okay?" "The fire alarm went off just now. All the other guests have come down except for you," the receptionist said softly. "Has the fire been extinguished?" Lu Shuang asked with drooping eyes. Shen Yan pursed her lips and smiled. "It has been extinguished," the receptionist explained. "You have already extinguished the fire. What else can happen to me?" Lu Shuang hung up the phone and turned his back to Shen Yan to rest. Shen Yan's phone rang. He glanced at the caller ID. It was Baya. He hung up immediately. Baya called again. He picked it up. "What's wrong?" "Shen Yan, are you kidding me? Why are you looking for Lu Shuang at this time? Don't you know why Lu Shuang's mother died?" Baya said agitatedly. "Since she is already a nail, no matter if I appear or not, others will still treat her as a nail. If I appear, I can better protect her, right?" Shen Yan asked. "Don't provoke her. Let her live a normal life. Don't ruin her with your selfishness." Baya was almost begging. Chapter 544. Lu Shuang lowered her eyes and looked at the air. She knew that the call was from Baya. From Shen Yan's words, she could guess what Baya had said. She felt sour and uncomfortable, so she took a deep breath and buried herself in the blanket. Shen Yan noticed Lu Shuang's abnormality. She put her hand on her shoulder and asked gently, "What's wrong?" "I'm hungry." Lu Shuang choked. Shen Yan lowered her head and kissed her on the back. Then she called her subordinate and asked, "Are you ready?" "We'll be there in 10 minutes, his subordinate reported. "Hurry up." "Yes." After a while, the food he ordered arrived as well. His clothes had arrived as well. It was a grand procession of people, and he estimated that there was an entire regiment of them. He ate with her while his men stood outside, fully armed and trembling. They blocked off the main road from north to south of the hotel, afraid that any news would leak out. Lu Shuang felt a little depressed. She took a deep breath and looked at him. He was calm and composed. He seemed to be in a good mood, with a smile on his face. "Don't you think that you are giving yourself away?" Lu Shuang asked, puzzled. "There are 300 taels. Besides being my personal assistant and taking care of my food and work, you are also my classmate from primary school and junior high school. Now that you are back in China, it is not too much for me to come and eat with you, right?" Shen Yan explained. "You sound so dignified, but you are just a hypocrite. You were disheveled just now, but now you are so handsome," Lu Shuang said with disdain. Shen Yan knocked her head. "You have learned a lot of idioms from your trip to country D. I don't have to worry about the language skills of other kids anymore." Lu Shuang looked down at the mention of children. Luckily, she was smart enough to get hooked before she came back. Otherwise, if Shen Yan did not use the hookup, she would have been in danger. Shen Yan placed the chicken wings in her bowl. "Eat more. You've lost weight." Lu Shuang fiddled with the rice in his bowl. "I heard that your parents died because they killed Su Jiran's mother and committed suicide under your interrogation." Shen Yan's eyes dimmed. "It's all for Shunxi. I'll tell you later. Come back with me after you finish eating." "I'll tell her later?" She guessed that he didn't want to tell her, which was why he was so vague. She didn't really want to know. After dinner, Lu Shuang was asked to change into a white shirt, a black suit, trousers, a man's hair mask, a pair of sunglasses, and high-heeled shoes. She found it funny that Shen Yan had said that it was normal to have dinner with her elementary school classmates. What was she trying to cover up now? Shen Yan stood at the door with her arms crossed in front of her chest, watching her change. He realized that although she was thin, her waistline was very good. "Have you worked out?" "Worked out." "Do you think someone like me will go to the gym?" Lu Shuang asked with a smile. Shen Yan raised an eyebrow. Indeed, she didn't like to work out. She wouldn't stand if she could sit or lie down if she could. She would definitely roll her eyes at him if he asked her to exercise. "Are you born with waistline?" "It's because I've learned martial arts. If I don't practice self-defense after being assassinated time and time again, I'll get a lunchbox the moment I appear," Lu Shuang said. Oh, he didn't think that she would be able to master any martial arts skills in 6 months. Those martial arts masters had to train hard for at least 5 years before they could achieve any results. However, he didn't want to hurt her. He said with a doting smile, "Let's spar next time." Lu Shuang. She couldn't move at all when she sparred with him just now. "No need. There's nothing to spar with you. I can't afford to hurt your body." Shen Yan smiled brightly. She felt guilty and knew that she was being mocked. "What are you laughing at?" He knocked her head. "Don't spout vulgarities. You'll teach our child the wrong things." Lu Shuang frowned. "Don't mention the child. I'll think of Xiaobao." Shen Yan nodded. He didn't think that Xiaobao was dead. From the looks of it, she must have hidden Xiaobao somewhere. He didn't say anything about wearing her clothes. "It's a little cold outside. You should wear 2 thermal underwear. That will make you look stronger." "Damn it. Why didn't you say so earlier? I'm already dressed. Besides, where did you get 2 thermal underwear?" He took off his thermal underwear. Lu Shuang was annoyed. He took off his shirt. He would freeze to death when he got out. Shen Yan picked up the thermal underwear. "If you find it annoying, I'll help you put it on." Lu Shuang snatched the underwear from his hands. "Thanks, but it's fine." After she put it on, Shen Yan looked at her. Lu Shuang put on his spectacles. "We can go now." Shen Yan smiled. "It seems that cross-dressing will only go unrecognized in dramas." Your chest muscles are not right at first glance. Lu Shuang rolled his eyes. Are you trying to cover up or are you trying to pass it off as real? Come on, tell me. I promise I'll do the opposite of what you want. Hee hee hee. Shen Yan laughed happily and carried her up. I like it when you're like this. Lu Shuang bumped him with her head. She still remembered that they had met when she was in grade 5. She ate well when she was young. Girls usually developed before boys. She was one of them. She started to develop in grade 5. She was quite huge and was arranged to sit at the last table by the teacher. As for him, he transferred here in grade 5. He was also arranged to sit at the last table, across the corridor from her. She didn't know if it was because of her or the others, but they all thought that he was very handsome. In grade 5, when she was still studying hard, many girls started to write love letters to him. There were so many love letters that they fell out of the drawer. Gossips didn't discriminate between men and women, young and old. She picked it up and opened it with curiosity. Something about you being the sun in the sky, and I being a blade of grass on the ground. I'll smile when I see you. She almost laughed out loud. A love letter, the sun and a blade of grass. It was impossible. One was in the sky and the other was on the ground. If they got close, they would be burned to ashes. Even a blade of grass could smile? What a joke. She really wanted to see which classmate was so talented. She took a look and there was no signature. After she finished reading, she threw the letter into his drawer and happened to be seen by him. He took out the letter that she was reading from the drawer, glanced at it and replied. Out of curiosity, she opened it and read it. His reply was really blunt. She roughly remembered the content. You're a fat little pig in a pigsty and I'm a pig herder with a stick. If you insist on liking me, then I can only tell you that I hate eating pork. If you insist on pestering me, please allow me to be rude. I'll roar at you, scram. Oh right, I forgot. Pigs can't understand such complicated things. Then Ji-Yuan. Chapter 545. In the car, Lu Shuang was resting with her eyes closed when her phone rang. She looked at the caller ID and sat up straight. Her voice softened a little. Hello. You're back in a country? The other party was shocked and angry. Yeah. Lu Shuang felt guilty and her expression was unnatural. She pursed her lips and said in a coquettish tone, I'm sorry. Shen Yan looked at her appearance, his heart inexplicably twisted, sour and painful, a flash of indignation between his eyebrows. She was like this. She always had no awareness of who she was. She confessed to him in the 5th grade. He didn't like her at that time, so she beat him up. Did she think that she could beat him with her mediocre taekwondo and huge body? He was the national youth martial arts champion. He pinned her to the ground and saw that she didn't cry. She pursed her lips stubbornly and didn't seem to be in pain. She was still happy every day and just rolled her eyes at him when she saw him. He just took it as she was attracting his attention. Gradually, he felt that pork was quite delicious. He ate pork every day anyway. She was chubby but kind. She brought snacks to school every day, and the way she ate was quite cute. During the 6th grade National Day celebration, she sang a song called Firefly. It was quite nice. Her voice was sweet and soft, as if there were really fireflies flying around his ears. He thought that since he was bored, it might be fun to have a little girlfriend. He wanted to tell her that he agreed, but he didn't expect to see her confess to another boy. She said that she hoped to get into the same junior high school and study together. When they grew up, they would realize their dreams together, and she would follow in his footsteps. He was angry. Following in his footsteps? Wasn't it obvious that they were going to get into the same university? Were they going to go to junior high school and college together? He was so angry that he beat the boy up so badly that he had to stay a level. How dare he snatch a woman from him? Wasn't he courting death? Who is it? Shen Yan asked with a gloomy face. Look, another person who wasn't afraid of death dared to call her. Lu Shuang didn't hear him and said to the person on the phone, I'll come back to make delicious food for you. Ha ha ha, then I'll eat your delicious food. Just this once, I'll be back soon. Soon? Before she could finish speaking, his face had already turned ashen. He snatched her phone and flew out of the window. Lu Shuang watched helplessly as his phone was thrown away. He was so angry that he hit Shen Yi's arm forcefully. Are you crazy? That's my phone. I'll buy you one later. Shen Yin said coldly, her eyes red. Give me your phone. Lu Shuang reached out to him. Although he was angry, he would still give her whatever she wanted, unless it crossed his bottom line. Passing the phone to her, Lu Shuang opened the window and threw the phone out. He looked at her and said, I'll buy you one later. I have a list of a lot of important people. I also have a list of many important people in there. Shen Yin frowned. What list of important people? The person who called you just now? Lu Shuang could tell that he was being sarcastic. Shen Yin, even if I'm a nobody, it's not right for me to throw away someone's phone. It's not that you can throw away someone's phone just because you're high and mighty. You feel that it's natural for you to throw away someone's phone, but you'll also feel angry when someone else throws away your phone. Since you don't like it, you should think about how others don't like it either. She returned his phone to him, so she didn't throw it away. Shen Yin looked at her helplessly and asked patiently, Who were you talking to on the phone just now? You were very gentle when you were talking to him. My husband. Lu Shuang replied without thinking. Good throw. Shen Yin's face fell. She was still angry when she thought about it. She bit her lips as if she was punishing him. Lu Shuang was in pain and tried to push him away, but he couldn't. He let go of her, stared at her angry eyes, and kissed her again. This time he didn't let go quickly, and he didn't enter her mouth. He was probably worried that her sharp tongue would block her lips and lick the place where she had bitten just now. Lu Shuang was almost out of breath from his kiss. She was angry, but she couldn't push him away, so she just stopped moving. He kissed her for more than 10 minutes before letting go of her. He said evilly, I don't mind telling your husband what we were doing just now. You seem to have had your 4th period, right? Lu Shuang slapped his face. It was a loud sound, and there were 3 fingerprints on his snow-white face. Shen Yin held her hand and pressed it on top of her head. He was at loggerheads. His trusted bodyguard was trembling in fear, and he didn't even dare to breathe. He locked his sharp eyes with her red eyes, and his aura weakened. He really couldn't stand her disappearing again. What if she disappeared and never came back again? He could only laugh so freely because of her. 5 times. Hit me again. Shen Yin let go of her hand. Lu Shuang didn't dare to hit him anymore, and he turned his face away. He had no choice but to get close to her back, hold her hand, and circle her in his arms. When it's just the 2 of us, I don't care what you do. But when we're outside, save me some face. We're all my subordinates. Shen Yin's subordinates. They were really blind. They really suspected that the person sitting behind them was a fake president. Their president was very powerful. He could take someone's life from 1,000 miles away with just a wave of his hand. He was wise, decisive, and unrivaled. This time, he was slapped in the face. All right. No matter how powerful a man was, he would still kneel in front of a woman. Lu Shuang didn't say anything else. He kissed her cheek. Not satisfied with just one kiss, he kissed her a few more times. Lu Shuang was getting goosebumps from his kisses. She glanced at him and met his overly beautiful eyes. She sighed and said, I don't have a husband. I lied to you. Shen Yin's eyes flashed. It's okay. In the future, if you're going to get someone to be your fake husband, just tell me in advance. I'll make sure that person can't even be a fake. Lu Shuang. Shen Yin's subordinates. He was in a really good mood today when he saw her. She went to kiss him again. Lu Shuang pushed his face away in disdain. All right, I won't kiss you anymore. He held her hand and coaxed her. Lu Shuang felt that the temperature of his palms was too hot. It passed through her skin and into her blood, causing her nose to be covered in sweat. It was winter now. She really shouldn't have worn 2 layers of warm clothing. She pulled her hand away, and he took the opportunity to hold her arm again, hugging her in his arms. Sigh. She couldn't be bothered to move anymore. She wanted to be more stable. She leaned on him and just treated it as a comfortable pillow. After driving for half an hour, they arrived at his president's palace. This was her first time here. Chapter 546. Lu Shuang didn't want to think about her identity. She didn't want to be a mistress. Once she was done with what she had to do, she would leave and never return. Before the car entered the president's palace, the guards did a strict check. The president's palace was only as big as the manor she used to live in, but there were a few hundred times more people guarding it. The car passed by the shade of the trees and the lake before arriving at the entrance of the villa facing the lake. Shen Yian's servants were already waiting at the door to welcome them. There were 2 maids, 3 maids, a butler, 2 chefs, as well as his wife and her maids. When Lu Shuang saw his wife, he felt uneasy and guilty. She followed Shen Yian out of the car and tried to stand as far away from Shen Yian as she lowered her head. "Thank you for your hard work," Hua Zixing said gently. Lu Shuang couldn't help but look at Hua Zixing again. She was very beautiful. Her face was small, and her facial features were deep. She was of mixed blood, and her skin was snow-white like pure snow. She had long, curly ebony hair, and a furry windbreaker draped over her. She wore a pink hand-carved long dress. Just by standing there, she was a beautiful scenery. She reminded her of Snow White from the fairy tales. She was so beautiful and elegant, so dignified and flawless. She felt that Shen Yian was wasting resources. He had such a beautiful wife and didn't know how to cherish her. If she was a man, she would definitely stay by such a beauty's side and not go anywhere else. It wasn't that she was belittling herself, but she felt that the girl was much prettier, more elegant and more luxurious than her. "Thank you for your hard work," Shen Yian said to Hua Zixing. Hua Zixing smiled. "It's nothing, it's what I should do. Have you eaten?" "Yes," Shen Yian said. "Zixing, let me introduce someone to you." Lu Shuang was frightened. He didn't want to face his wife directly. He felt guilty for doing something bad. Shen Yian didn't give him a chance to escape. She held onto Lu Shuang's hand and walked out. "She's my classmate. She's here to be my personal assistant. Take care of her in the future." "Okay." Hua Zixing smiled at Lu Shuang gently and elegantly. Lu Shuang was in a trance for a moment. In the past, she thought that Bai Ye had the best temperament. Bai Ye's smile and frown were very polite, rational, generous, and never embarrassed others. She was gentle, elegant, dignified, and beautiful. Bai Ye was the role model that she had always dreamed of, but she had never been able to achieve it. She felt that the perfect Hua Zixing could only exist in the heavens. "Thank you," Lu Shuang said. Hua Zixing chuckled. "Come with me. I'll arrange a room for you and introduce you to others." "Oh." Lu Shuang followed Hua Zixing in. Downstairs is the living room, dining room, conference room, reception room. 2 maids, 2 chefs, and the butler live here. The second floor is the study room, gym, lounge, and Ian's assistant's room. Because I'm not in good health, Ian and I sleep in separate beds. Hua Zixing introduced. "You're not well? Why?" Lu Shuang was shocked. "Congenital heart disease. There are 2 guest rooms on the second floor. You can clean up one of them. You're Ian's assistant. I think this room is more suitable for you." Hua Zixing pushed open the door. Lu Shuang had a strange feeling in his heart. Such a beautiful girl actually had congenital heart disease. What a pity. "There's a small door in this room that leads to Ian's room. It'll be more convenient for you to take care of him," Hua Zixing said gently. Lu Shuang felt very burdened. She trusted her so much, but she acted like Shen Yian. "I'm sorry." "What?" Hua Zixing looked at Lu Shuang. Lu Shuang couldn't say it out loud. "Haha, it's nothing." Hua Zixing looked at him. "Are you apologizing to me because you've become my husband's woman?" Lu Shuang didn't expect her to know about it. His face turned red. Hua Zixing laughed. "It's okay," I agreed. "I'm not well and I can't have sex. Before we got married, I told Shen Yian that our marriage is a political alliance. I'll help him stabilize his political power, and he'll help my family stabilize their political power. He's a man after all, he needs a woman like that. He's not a eunuch, right? On the contrary, I'm very grateful to you for taking care of my husband." Why did Lu Shuang feel even more ashamed? What kind of woman was she to be able to tolerate this? Or was it that women raised by aristocrats were born to be magnanimous? She remembered that Shen Yian's father had an illicit relationship with Su Jieran's mother. She had to take a sip of wine to calm herself down and adjust her distorted worldview. Anyway, I'm sorry, Lu Shuang said. As long as you don't fight with me for the position of the president's wife, it'll be fine, Hua Zixing said jokingly. I definitely won't. I'm not worthy. I feel like I'm an ugly duckling when I'm with you. Shiniyan must be blind, hee, Lu Shuang said. This room is yours. I'll bring you to the 3rd floor. I like the 3rd floor a lot, Hua Zixing said. She pushed the door open when they reached the 3rd floor. Wow, it's so beautiful, Lu Shuang exclaimed. There were actually 4 floors. The 3rd and 4th floors were not separated. The 4th floor was a small room with a bed, a computer, and a television. When they pushed the door open, it was the 3rd floor. The 3rd floor was made of tempered glass. There were all sorts of blooming flowers. In this season, there were roses, lilies, and many other flowers that she didn't know the names of. There was a swing, a wooden table, and a tea set. It was an elegant antique style. It was like a paradise. Did you decorate this place? It's so dreamy, Lu Shuang exclaimed. She liked this place too. As long as she was a woman, she would like this place. Yet Sheniyan is a good person. He knows that I like flowers and plants, so he specially asked someone to make this garden in the sky. I like it a lot too. I usually read here, admire the flowers, and taste tea. There's also a balcony on the 4th floor. It's nicely decorated too. You can overlook the entire presidential mansion. It's more of a modern style, Hua Zixing explained. Sai Sheniyan is too fickle. Let me tell you, he had a bunch of girlfriends when he was in junior high, Lu Shuang said in disdain. It was a pity for Hua Zixing. If she was a man, she would be happy with Hua Zixing for the rest of her life without doing anything. My mother said that human nature is human nature. We can't change it, so we have to adapt. After all, my husband isn't an ordinary person. He has more temptations, and he has more rights to enjoy them. If I'm unwilling, it will only make it harder for me to accept it. I'll be in an even more difficult situation. In fact, as long as I'm obedient, I'm still the most important person by his side. My value is much higher than those women, Hua Zixing said gently. Lu Shuang could only laugh. She would never be able to reach the state that Hua Zixing was in. In the future, when she got married, if her husband fooled around outside, she would ask him to scram. He could find whoever he wanted. She would rather not have such a scumbag. Hua Zixing's phone rang. Chapter 547. Her maid was watching her from upstairs. Lu Shuang looked around and sat down on a chair. The maid beside Hua Zixing said coldly, "This is our madam's favorite place to stay. She likes peace and quiet. If it's not necessary, I hope you won't disturb her peace and quiet." Oh. Lu Shuang stood up tactfully. "Also, the owner of this house is my madam. I hope you will behave yourself and not break the rules of the servants. Madam is polite to you because of her self-restraint. If you take it as a blessing and think you're infallible, then you can only get out of here," the maid said rudely. Rules of the servants? She had a bad temper. Madam is a very good person, but everyone does it for the sake of work. If you're unhappy with work, you can leave and move to another place to continue working. Our country has abolished slavery a long time ago. There are no superiors and subordinates, hee. The hee at the end was purely to express her friendliness. Work. The maid twitched the corners of her mouth in disdain and said in a strange tone, "Your job is really a dream job." Lu Shuang was speechless. She smelled something unusual. Could it be that Hua Zixing couldn't have sex with men and wanted to give the maid to Sheniyan? Then she had really ruined someone else's plans. You can do it. You'll have a chance. There's plenty of time in the future. There's plenty of time in the future. She felt that the idiom, "there's plenty of time in the future," was appropriate here. She said with a smile, "Then I'll go down." The maid followed behind her jealously. She didn't see Sheniyan. She returned to her room and changed her clothes. When she went out, she saw Sheniyan coming out of the study with a bad expression. Hua Zixing said helplessly, "That's all I can do." Lu Shuang instinctively shrank back into his room and closed the door. He didn't want to be implicated. Sheniyan saw it and came to her door knocking on it. Lu Shuang opened the door and poked his head out. He asked, "What's wrong?" "I'm going to work now. Do you want to come with me?" Shen Yan asked. He was going to work. What was she going to do? Lu Shuang thought for a moment. "Can I not go?" Shen Yan. He knew this would be the result. "Stay at home and don't go anywhere. Wait for me to come back." Lu Shuang thought about it again. "Then I'll go with you." There was a hint of a smile in his eyes as he stroked her head. "Go change your clothes, a trench coat, a suit or something. Something more serious. I'll wait for you." "Oh." Lu Shuang went in and closed the door. She tied her hair up on her head, changed into a gray windbreaker, and opened the door. Shen Yan had also changed into a black suit and a black windbreaker. Tall and straight, he looked dignified and handsome. The heavens had given this evildoer a handsome face. Fortunately, she knew his character too well. Otherwise, she wouldn't even know how she died. Lu Shuang shuddered and looked at the door. "Let's go." "Okay," Shen Yan replied. The two of them walked towards the door together. Hua Zixing smiled as she watched the two of them leave. "The president is too much. He actually brought that woman home," Gong Nanue said angrily. Hua Zixing was very calm. She looked at the maidservant beside her and said, "Nanue, what did I teach you? Even if you're angry, don't show it on your face. Even if you bear a grudge, keep it in your heart. There's one thing you have to understand. No one can shake my position. I will definitely arrange for you to be with Shen Yan. Spoiling makes people arrogant, and arrogance makes people disgusted. It's just a matter of time. If you can endure it for a while, you'll be successful for a lifetime." Hua Zixing's voice was so gentle that it felt like the spring equinox was brushing against one's face. "But I'm just fighting for you. What right does she have to be on equal footing with you?" Gong Nanue deliberately provoked. "Even if it's not her, there will be someone else. Instead of letting him raise his woman outside, why not keep her at home? It'll be easier for me to keep an eye on her. Don't be angry. That girl should be the type with big breasts and no brains. Accompany me to arrange the flowers. Also, bring Xiaonu back. It's been wild outside for a long time." Nangongyu saw that Hua Zixing didn't care at all. She gritted her teeth in hatred. "Madam, if she has a child, won't you lose your position? Gongyu, if you have a child, I can't take it away because I can't bear to hurt you. But if it's her child, I can take it and raise it myself. If it's the child of a woman that Shen Yan likes, he will also care about it. But that woman..." Nangongyu was anxious. "Let's wait and see. She's just an ordinary girl. Don't worry. After a period of time, when there's an estrangement between them, I will arrange for you to serve Shen Yan in bed." Alright, this topic ends here. Hua Zixing went to the third floor. In the car, Lu Shuang stared blankly at the air. He unconsciously pulled his finger, and thought for a moment before looking at Shen Yan. Perhaps it was because he had been doing physical labor for too long. He closed his eyes to rest. Even when Shen Yan was sleeping, he was as handsome as a prince in a fairy tale. A prince and a princess. She couldn't help but feel that the scene wasn't harmonious. Oh no, a king and a queen. Even if she were to wear a dragon robe, she wouldn't look like a crown prince. Shen Yan's eyesight and taste weren't good. Suddenly he held her hand. He opened his eyes and looked at her. "What are you thinking about? You've been looking at me for a long time." Lu Shuang pulled his hand out. "Shen Yan, don't you think that you've gone overboard with your wife? The most important thing for a married couple is loyalty. You've gone too far." Shen Yan sat up straight and said seriously, "Our relationship isn't what you think it is. She doesn't want me as a husband, but the power behind me. We've already agreed before we got married. She won't stop me from being with the woman I like. I'll help her stabilize her family's power." "Power? Then did you help her stabilize her family's power?" Lu Shuang was puzzled. "Of course, her family's power is very stable now. Previously, Xing Buhua even wanted to marry her younger sister. This is enough to prove that her family's power is far above their opponents," Shen Yan explained. She didn't really understand politics, nor did she care about it. In fact, she didn't even have a complete plan when she came back. She was someone who lived on impulse. She was like that in the past, and she was still like that now. The night before she came back, she dreamt of her parents and Baya. Her parents said that they wanted to go back and be buried in their hometown. So she brought her parents' ashes back. Actually, she had seen the person who fired the gun. That person was hiding in the car, but she saw him. She saw his face. She had seen him by Shen Yian's side before. He was Shen Yian's bodyguard. But she couldn't remember his name. She could only remember his face. Chapter 548. She heaved a sigh. When she was bored, she would read some novels such as Rebirth or Revenge. The protagonist or heroine would make all kinds of elaborate schemes to slap the bad guys in the face and bring them to justice. Her blood would boil every time she read them. Now it was her turn. She couldn't think of a good way. When her mother died, she wanted to come back and kill Shen Yian. Her father took her away and told her a lot and analyzed a lot. Only then did she know that Shen Yian didn't do it. If Shen Yian wanted to do it, he would have done it long ago. What are you sighing about? Shen Yian asked. Lu Shuang looked at Shen Yian. It didn't matter that she was not smart enough. At least she was thick-skinned enough. Shen Yian, if I find the murderer who killed my mother, will you help me? Lu Shuang asked. Of course. Of course. Will you help or won't you help? She was doubtful. I will. Shen Yian said one word clearly. If he helped her, she could stay by his side for a few more months. However, it felt like the heroine was trying to please the male protagonist for revenge. She shuddered. If Shen Yian was the male protagonist, she would just be cannon fodder. Thank you. No, you can't say thank you. If it weren't for you, my mother and father wouldn't have died. You should do it. Shen Yian looked at her with deep eyes and said seriously. Yes, it's what I should do. This is what I owe you, so you have to remember to ask me for it for the rest of your life. Don't forget. Lu Shuang had a strange feeling in her heart. If she remembered it for the rest of her life, wouldn't she be entangled with him? Although she wasn't smart, she knew her limits. His world was too complicated. She didn't want to get involved. She just wanted to avenge her mother, find a job as a doctor, sing with a group of friends, surf the internet, eat, chat, and travel. Oh yes, that guy seemed to like her. He even cooked for her. When her father was sick, he helped her take care of him. She felt that it wasn't a bad idea. After she completed her mission, she would go back to Country D and observe him. If he needed to be good, he should be good, hee. Lu Shuang looked out of the window and carried her onto his body. Lu Shuang frowned. Shen Yian, you're asking for it. Do you really want to be suppressed? Shen Yian smiled. Yes, I can always be suppressed by you. I will allow it. She smelled something dirty and was not happy to acknowledge him. He hugged her even tighter, afraid that he would lose her. He really wanted to keep her in his pocket and carry her with him all the time, watching over her. Lu Shuang followed him to the building where he worked. The security was even stricter than that of the presidential palace. Wait in my office for a while. You can use my computer. The password is your birthday, Shen Yian said. My birthday. Lu Shuang was suspicious and said in disbelief. Shen Yian, do you really like me? Shen Yian was helpless. Which eye of yours saw that I don't like you? Lu Shuang gestured with 2 fingers. 2 eyes. Dig them out then. There's no point in keeping them, Shen Yian said coldly. Lu Shuang shuddered. What happened to liking her? He turned around and walked out, as though he was angry and cold. She was really worried that he would get someone to dig her eyes out. She hid under the table for a while, but no one came. Annoyed, she stood up and kicked the chair. Back then she was considered a heroine. Why did she become more and more timid? Sitting on the chair, she glanced at his table. It was really clean and spotless. She turned on his computer and entered her birthday. Oh, it was true. Shen Yian must have done this on purpose. Was he trying to trick her into liking him? She opened QQ and found Angelica. His profile picture was black. She left a message for him. I'm sorry. I lost my phone. I have to buy a new one and apply for my old number. What's your number? I'll call you when I get there. I'm already at the airport. I'll reach Country A tomorrow. Angelica's profile picture lit up. You're coming to Country A too? Country A and Country D aren't on good terms. Are you here to invest? Lu Shuang was confused. I'm here to look for my girlfriend who ran away. Lu Shuang paused. She just realized that he might like her. So he had a girlfriend. She was thinking too much again. She had to change this habit of hers. Oh, good luck then. I will. Lu Shuang felt that there was no need to chat anymore. After all, she was already taken. He sent her his number. A thought flashed through her mind. He couldn't be referring to her when he said that his girlfriend ran away. That couldn't be right. When did she become his girlfriend? So he wasn't looking for her. She turned on the video and watched a movie. In the meeting room next door. Shinian, don't forget that you and I are in the same boat. If I sink, you won't be far away. If the lips are gone, the teeth will be cold. I believe you understand this better than I do. Sheng Dongqing said angrily. Of course I understand. We've always been on the same boat. I'm not stupid. But given the current situation, even if I wanted to protect you, I wouldn't be able to. Why don't you keep a low profile and bide your time? After all, you're only 30 years old. You'll have plenty of opportunities in the future. If you can't bear it, you'll ruin your plans, Shinian advised. I'm going to kill that B*TCH by ya. Sheng Dongqing gritted his teeth. Killing her is easier than killing an ant. I've killed so many elites in your hands. The question is it worth it? Shinian said in a low voice. What do you mean? I've known Baya for a long time. She's a meticulous person who studies psychology. She has great patience and a high IQ. Maybe she's already prepared a trap and is waiting for you to enter. The more difficult the situation is, the more you have to be patient. You know this. The more violent you are, the more likely you are to make mistakes. You've been too hot-tempered recently, which gave Baya the chance to take advantage of it. That's why Baya took advantage of it. When you regain power, it'll be the day she loses, Shinian advised. Sheng Dongqing took a deep breath and thought for a while. He agreed with Shinian. Then what do you think I should do? Don't let those who follow you get into trouble again. Train some of your own confidants. Oh right, have you checked on Xing Buhor? Shinian asked suspiciously. I've checked. I've got someone at Xing Shang's place. They've confirmed that there's nothing wrong with him. I've also compared his DNA with Song Shiyu's. He's not a direct descendant, Sheng Dongqing said. The two of them are too similar, except for their personalities. He appeared just after Gu Lingqing's death. We have to be careful. Shinian frowned. There's no problem. I'm sure of it, Sheng Dongqing said. Well, the people on the internet are denouncing you. Don't run away or suppress them. Reply to them directly and express your 100% sincerity. This way, there'll be more room for you to recover in the future. Then ask the team to help you clear your name. Alright, that's it for now. I'll let Baya go for now, Sheng Dongqing said angrily. A dim light flashed in Shinian's eyes. Chapter 549. He had just returned to his office when his phone rang. He saw that it was Baya's call. He glanced at Lu Shuang and walked out of his office. He entered the meeting room next door and answered the call. What's wrong? Give me Lu Shuang's phone number, Baya said anxiously. He had already guessed what her motive was. Baya, you should focus on your own matters. You're pregnant now and shouldn't be overworked. Don't worry about Lu Shuang's matter. I've told you before that I love her. I'm more worried about her safety than you are, Shinian said in a deep voice. She was very serious and did not allow anyone to resist. If you're worried about her safety, you shouldn't contact her anymore. Are you going to give it to me or not? Baya said forcefully. Since she's already the target, do you think it's safer to leave her outside or with me? It's safer with me, Baya blurted out. Her purpose of coming back is to find the person who killed her mother. Do you think she'll stay with you and do nothing? Besides, according to her straightforward character, if she wanted to contact you, she would have done it long ago. She wouldn't have waited until now. Baya, don't do anything unnecessary. I can promise you that as long as I'm alive, I won't let her do anything. I have something to do. Also, be careful of Xing Buhua. Shinian said and hung up the phone. Baya was anxious, worried and angry. Her people could protect Lu Shuang secretly, but Shen Yan was really ruthless. She found a group of people and took Lu Shuang away. Madam, what should we do now? Lin Shulan asked Baiya. Baiya took a deep breath and called Shen Yan again. What now? Shen Yan was impatient. I'll send someone to protect Lu Shuang. Otherwise I won't be at ease, Baiya requested. Okay. Besides, you've achieved your goal. Sheng Dongqing will resign from his position today. Enough is enough. Even a rabbit will bite when it's anxious, not to mention Sheng Dongqing. I can protect you now, but I can't protect you forever, Shen Yan said. I know what I'm doing. I hope you understand what you're doing too. I'll hang up first. I'll call you after I find someone who can protect Lu Shuang. Baiya said and hung up the phone. Shen Yan put away the phone and walked into his office. Lu Shuang was playing her game and glanced at him. She thought. She saw him coming and going, so she said, Bai Shen to Shuang. Bai was the Shen. Bye, Baiya said. Shen, she didn't know many secrets. Her mother and father were dead. She didn't dare to listen to secrets. Shen Yan walked behind her, put his hand on the back of the chair and looked at the computer. You're playing dressing up. Are you retarded? You're afraid that I'll infect you. Stay away from me. Lu Shuang said lazily and glanced at him. You want to use the computer? It's okay. You can play. Tell me if you like any outfit. I'll get someone to make it for you, Shen Yan said. He sat down opposite her with a stack of documents. Lu Shuang looked at him. He was focused on the documents. He was quite handsome when he was serious. She remembered that he was the language class representative in junior high. She asked him to hand in his homework, but he never did. She was so angry that she almost cried. Later, she thought of an idea. She did 2 copies of the homework, one with his name and the other with her name. He didn't have to ask for homework from her. The teacher would criticize him. Since when did a rebellious student become a good student? And she had long forgotten to settle down and study in her impetuous life. She sighed, held her chin and looked at him. He looked up at her. What's wrong? Are you bored? Shen Yan, when are you going to parade? Lu Shuang asked tentatively. I can arrange it. Tell my assistant. He will inform me when the time is ready. But there are many troops now. It will take some time to parade them one by one. Do you want to see me parade? Shen Yan could tell what she was thinking. Lu Shuang nodded. Don't you have a trusted aide? That formless thing, I can see that, right? Invisible. It's not open to the public. Shen Yan explained. What if I want to see it? Lu Shuang asked tentatively. She didn't have much hope. Okay, I can arrange it privately. Just be obedient, Shen Yan said helplessly. Lu Shuang didn't expect him to suddenly agree. She smiled and praised him. You're quite reliable. I'll give you the computer. Give it to me. What are you doing? He was afraid that she would be bored. I'm playing with my phone. I realized that mobile games nowadays are very fun. She stood up. She remembered that she played computer games because she didn't have a phone. Shen Yan had no choice but to pass his phone to her. Play with mine first. Don't play with it. Don't give me a virus. Lu Shuang took her phone. I don't go on pornographic websites. Where would I get a virus? She lay down on the sofa. Shen Yan turned around and looked at her. What brand of phone do you like? Apple? Or Blass? Apple. I used it before. It doesn't lag much when I play games, Lu Shuang said. Shen Yan dialed the intercom. Help me prepare 2 Apple phones. It's best if you can get my card back, Lu Shuang reminded her. Prepare a new card and top up 10,000 yuan, Shen Yan said. Lu Shuang frowned and sat up. I want my card, not a new card. Shen Yan hung up the phone and said domineeringly. I don't think you need to contact anyone else other than me. Since those people are in your past, they won't appear in your future. Lu Shuang put on a fake smile and gave her a perfunctory reply. She needed him to take revenge now, so she put up with it for now. In the future, she didn't have any plans for him. She downloaded Hank the dog and played for a while. She was a little tired, so she closed her eyes and fell asleep after a while. Shen Yan looked at her. picked up his coat from the hanger and covered her with it. She was still fast asleep. He returned to the chair and started to work. He had never felt so calm when he was working. He felt that with her around, his heart was full and even the efficiency of his work increased. The phone rang. Xinyan didn't have time to turn off the sound and walked to her. Lu Shuang thought it was her phone and answered it in a daze. Bai Ye's voice came from the other side of the phone. My people have already gone to the President Palace. They will arrive at about 8 p.m. Please make the arrangements. Also, don't tell Lu Shuang that he is my man. Chapter 550. Xinyan glanced at the caller ID. It was Bai Ye. He looked at Lu Shuang with pity in his eyes and said in a low voice, "What's wrong?" "There was something wrong with my phone just now, so I didn't hear it. I was wondering why I didn't hear anything. My people have already gone to the President Palace and will arrive at around 8. Make the arrangements and don't let Lu Shuang know," Bai Ye said again. Xinyan was still looking at Lu Shuang. She lowered her eyes and seemed to be thinking about something. "Got it. That's all for now. I'll contact you later." He hung up the phone, sat next to Lu Shuang and held her hand. Lu Shuang subconsciously withdrew her hand, her eyes slightly red. Every time she heard the name Bai Ye, saw Bai Ye, or heard Bai Ye's voice, she would think of the day her mother died. She really couldn't forgive her. When an enemy and a friend did the same thing, the friend would bring more than 10 times the harm. Xinyan took a deep breath. "To be honest, Bai Ye cares about you a lot. She told me your whereabouts because she thought I loved you and could give you happiness. She felt guilty when something happened to you." Lu Shuang's lips twitched. "She's always like this. She doesn't tell me anything, even about myself. She helps you secretly. Does she treat me as a friend or you as a friend? If she treats me as a friend, why didn't she tell me in advance and understand my wishes? I don't think this is friendship. I think it's more like she's controlling me. I don't want this favor from her." She said it resolutely, her eyes flowing with coldness. The current Bai Ye is no longer the Bai Ye of the past. In the past, Bai Ye had nothing and was at most an ordinary person with a decent job. But now, after Gu Lingqing died, she has Gu Lingqing's power. You know her character. No one can stop her from doing what she wants to do. Moreover, it's good to have one more person to protect you. Just pretend that you don't know anything and let me make the arrangements, Xinyan advised. "I don't want it. Give me the phone." Lu Shuang reached out to Xinyan. "Xiao Shuang, don't be impulsive. You should think about yourself first. Xinyan, do you want to live a happy life for 50 years? Or do you want to live a painful life for 100 years? Lu Shuang asked angrily. It's impossible for a person to be happy for 50 years, and it's impossible for a person to be in pain for 100 years. This is the reality. Lu Shuang stood up from the sofa. Are you giving it to me or not? Don't be stubborn. I'm not being willful. I'm accepting benefits from her. I feel sorry for my mother. You don't understand. If you don't want to give it to me, forget it. I'll talk to her myself. Lu Shuang walked towards the door. Xinyan hugged her. In fact, he understood that Lu Shuang blamed Bai Ye and him at the same time. She only wanted revenge, so she had no choice but to stay by his side. I'll give it to you. Lu Shuang looked at him. What do you want? As long as you don't leave me, I'll give it to you, Xinyan said in a low voice. He picked up the phone box on the table and handed it to him. Your new phone. There's my phone number and Bai Ye's in it. I'll help you enter it. Lu Shuang stared at him. He was such a calculative person. He seemed to be able to control people's minds and predict the future. Lu Shuang grabbed the phone box from his hand and took it out. He asked suspiciously, You didn't install any surveillance cameras in it, did you? What are you afraid that I'll monitor? Xinyan asked in return. Lu Shuang understood what he was implying. He frowned and looked unhappy. So you let it go, right? No. Xinyan said in a deep voice. In the future, you'll go wherever I go. I don't need to do anything unnecessary. Lu Shuang didn't seem to believe him. Love can only last long if you keep the right distance. If you stick to each other every day, you'll die quickly. After she finished speaking, she didn't look at Xinyan. She didn't care about his expression. She turned around and called Baya directly. Hello? Baya's voice came from the other end of the phone. I'm Lu Shuang. I heard your call with Sheniyan. Thank you for your kindness, but I don't need it. Lu Shuang said coldly. Shuang, you don't know how dangerous it is to stay by Sheniyan's side. The person who wants to assassinate you is by Sheniyan's side. Do you think you can take revenge by coming back alone? I'll help you. I have the ability to help you now, Baya said anxiously. Do you still remember the time when you were in love with Gu Lingqing? I was worried that something would happen to you. I was worried that Gu Lingqing's side would deal with you. How did you treat me? What did you say to me? Huh? Lu Shuang asked coldly. Baya pursed her lips and didn't say anything. You forced me. You said that if I told Gu Lingqing, I wouldn't be your friend anymore. You even disappeared from my side for 3 years because of this. You treated our friendship coldly on purpose. Lu Shuang thought about the past and felt quite sad. How heartless and forgetful she was at that time. She was heartless and didn't hold grudges. She was lively and cheerful. In the end, it was because of her parents' protection. She grew up in a harmonious family. Her parents loved her and kept her away from troubles. She actually left her parents for Baya and became enemies with them for 2 years. In the end, her parents let bygones be bygones and gave up everything to follow her. But she killed her parents and the person who loved her the most in the world. She couldn't forgive Baya. She couldn't forgive Sheniyan. Similarly, she couldn't forgive herself. That's because I don't want to implicate you, Baya explained. Lu Shuang's eyes were red. Aren't you a psychology major? I remember you said before that when you love someone, you shouldn't do things for his own good. You should do what he wants you to do. When I think of you and the people related to you, I think of how you killed my mother. I also think of my stupidity in the past. You saved me back then, so I don't want to deal with you. But please leave my life, because I will never forgive you. Baya felt as if a knife had pierced into her heart. Lu Shuang said that she saved her. In fact, she was saved by Lu Shuang. It was Lu Shuang who sacrificed his family and loved to save her. She didn't expect Lu Shuang's forgiveness. She just wanted Lu Shuang to be safe and happy. She sobbed and said, "Let me help you." I'll say it again. I don't need it. Your so-called help will only make me feel guilty. It will only make me feel guilty to my parents. It will only make me have nightmares. Please leave my life, Lu Shuang said firmly. Baya cried and couldn't say anything. She just waited for Lu Shuang to hang up the phone. She leaned her head on the desk and cried. She thought of how she and Lu Shuang supported each other in the hospital. She thought of how Lu Shuang helped her to deal with Su Jiran. She thought of how Lu Shuang tried his best to help her. She thought of all the things that happened between them. She was so sad. Chapter 551. Xing Buhua's voice was heard, full of concern. Baya hugged his waist, buried her face in his body and sobbed. Xing Buhua's eyes were full of pity, and a complicated look flashed through them. He put his hand on Baya's shoulder, trying to give her warmth. Xiaoya, if there's anything you're unhappy about, you can tell me. I'll always be by your side and protect you, even if... Xing Buhua paused and didn't continue. But Baya was buried in his body, and didn't see the abnormality in his eyes. She sobbed and said, "We must protect Lu Shuang, okay? I can't let her be in danger again." Xing Buhua sat down next to her and held her in his arms. "Whatever you say. Don't be sad, you're pregnant. In fact, you should know that it's useless to be sad, and it's useless to be sad. It's good for your body to vent your emotions, but it's harmful to your body if you're too emotional. Okay." Baya took a few deep breaths and looked at him. Her eyes were red, and tears were still hanging on her eyelids. He wiped them away with his thumb, and smiled gently. "I've got the results of the test," Baya said. "Are you relieved now?" Xing Buhua said with a smile. Baya looked into his eyes, took another deep breath, and calmed herself down. Seeing her serious look, Xing Buhua couldn't help but feel nervous. "I know that Lu Shuang came back to take revenge. She suspects that the person who killed her mother was someone close to Sheniyan. The person who tried to assassinate her was Sheniyan's man, who has been brought to justice by Sheniyan. But there should be others, and they should be from the leadership. Lu Shuang is too straightforward. She shows everything on her face, and says what she thinks. She doesn't know how to pretend, and she's just. Maybe it's because she's been well protected since she was a child. She's not scheming. She does things impulsively, and she doesn't think about the consequences. How is she going to fight against those cunning old foxes? Baya said worriedly. Xing Buhua heaved a sigh of relief. So this was what she was talking about. I will arrange for my men to enter the President Palace as guards to protect her. Xing Buhua said. It's best if she has someone by her side to guide her. Once she goes down the wrong path, she won't be able to turn back. Baya was worried. I have a suitable candidate in mind. I will try my best to arrange for him to go to the presidential palace. However, the presidential palace is not easy to get close to. Shen Yan is more cautious than Sheng Dongsheng, and he can keep his composure. Baya nodded. Thank you. Xing Buhua rubbed her head. There's no need for thanks between us. It's my pet phrase. Even my husband has to say thank you, explained Baya. He laughed and looked at the 5 boxes of papers on the floor. These are all for you to mark. There's too much, and you're pregnant. Tell me, how should the results be calculated, and I'll sort them out for you. You just went to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, and you're already busy enough. Anyway, I have nothing to do these days. I'll mark these papers slowly. There will be a time when they're done. I'm already here. Am I supposed to watch you work while I sleep? Xing Buhua said gently. Well, that's fine. I'll tell you how to grade them. This is based on the overall score of the 20 questions. Choice A is 5 points, Choice B is 4 points, Choice C is 3 points, Choice D is 2 points, and the rest is 1 point. There are a total of 100 points. Below 60 is the first level, 60 to 80 is the first level, and 80 to 90 is the second level. Between 90 and 90 is the first level, explained Baya, pointing at the 4th level in front of her. Okay. Let's work together. Xing Buhua moved a chair and sat opposite her. Baya glanced at him, and he was very focused on the papers. He and her Gu Lingqing had the same eyebrows, the same deep-set eyes, the same fine nose, the same lips, and the same good-looking face. At least, she still had Gu Lingqing. And Lu Shuang. Baya's eyes dimmed, and her heart ached. She knew it was useless to be sad, but she could not control her heart. She lowered her head and focused on marking the papers. Knock, knock, knock. There was a knock on the door. Xing Buhua was alert. He put the papers away and hid them. Baya went to open the door. Lin Shulan stood outside the door and reported to Baya happily. Madam, you did it. Now Xing Dongqing has taken the initiative to resign, and now he's saying that he's sorry to the public. Baya twitched the corner of her mouth and said knowingly, he wants to clear his name. Ah, clear his name? Then what should we do? Lin Shulan asked. Let him clear his name. My goal was to make him resign. Tomorrow, there will be a good show. Shulan, I'm having hot pot at the embassy in Seattle tonight. Help me prepare. Baya suddenly changed the topic. Lin Shulan paused, and then smiled. I'll prepare. We should celebrate. Baya did not say it out loud. She believed that Lin Shulan already knew. She closed the door and locked it. She picked up the phone on the desk and made a call. Tomorrow is the weekend. The photos I gave you will be sent out at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I want to be the headline of all the websites and apps at 12 a.m. I want to be the headline of all the websites and apps. Is that okay with you? No problem. Also, everyone has been working hard recently. It's going to be the new year soon, and I can see that many of you are not local. Give everyone a 28-day holiday, but arrange for people to be on duty. Also, how's the new website going? Baya asked. The new website has taken shape, but it still needs to be tested and typeset. It should be ready before the new year. As for the reporters, there are not many people who quit at the end of the year. They are all preparing to get their year-end bonuses first. After the new year, there should be many reporters jumping ship. I've contacted a few headhunters, Du Xinbo reported. Thank you for your hard work. Don't miss out on any of the bonuses. Let me know how much you need. Baya said generously. Okay. Thank you, Boss Bai. I'll get to work first. Okay. Baya hung up the phone. Xing Buhua was already standing in front of her, looking at her deeply. He had never seen a woman who exuded such charm, even when she was working. She looked gentle and beautiful. When she smiled, she was as gentle as water. She was unwavering in love, but she was also very brave and clever. She did things with ease. She could not be said to be strong, but she was definitely the most tenacious. That was why he could be sure that she was the one he wanted with just one look. In fact, she had appeared in his dreams a long time ago. What's wrong? Is there something on my face? Baya covered her face suspiciously. Xing Buhua held her face and kissed her forehead. I really want to look at you like this. Baya burst out laughing. Don't eat, don't sleep. What if you get tired of looking at me? I won't get tired of looking at you. He looked at her with infatuation. Chapter 552. Xing Buhua stared at her. Mom went to country because our goods were replaced by someone else. I'm worried that someone is deliberately targeting goods, so I asked Mom to give up some foreign industries that she's not confident in and focus on charity, Baya said. Your worry is not unnecessary. Besides, my mom is old and you're pregnant. Too much work will only be a burden. We don't care about money. Just do what you want. I'll support whatever decision you make, Xing Buhua said softly. Charity is also to lay the foundation for you to be the president, but... Baya was a little worried and paused. But what? Xing Buhua asked. I'm afraid that we'll become the next Shen Ao. For the sake of complicated interests, we'll sacrifice our personality, conscience, and life. Gu Lingqing, if you take revenge, in fact, what's the point of being the president? With so many people staring at you and so many annoying things, no matter how powerful you are, when you die, can you not be lonely? Can you not feel lonely? Baya asked. Xing Buhua pursed his lips and said nothing. Life is only a few decades, 120 years at most. Our family is together, and we're happy every day. We travel around the world, see the scenery of the world, eat the food of the world, give birth to many, many children, give birth to many more children. When we die, all we can remember is happiness and warmth in our hearts. I'm happy, and my heart is warm. Isn't that good? Baya said with red eyes. Xing Buhua raised the corner of his mouth. In the past, he had his ambitions and aspirations. A soldier who didn't want to be a general was not a good soldier, and a politician who didn't want to be the president was not a good politician either. But she was right. So what if he became the president? He had made many enemies and was watched by others. Once he fell, everyone would give him a push when he was down. Even if he died just like Shen Ao, many people were sad. Most of them were thinking about their own interests. It would be better to be with her every day and live a happy life without worries. All they had to do was raise their child. Okay, I promise you. It's just for revenge. After I've avenged my parents, I'll take you to travel around the world. We'll have as many children as a football team. In the future, we'll help them choose husbands and wives. Xing Buhua agreed. Baya smiled. We still have to do charity. After all, we are shouldering too many killings. Xing Buhua patted her head. She was also very kind and not greedy. Although he appeared late, his luck was still good, wasn't it? Okay, I'll listen to you. Xing Buhua said dotingly. Now let's mark the papers together. Xing Buhua nodded. Do you think it's better to score high or low? You won't be able to see any problems from just one test paper, because many people have very high EQ and IQ. Those who are able to infiltrate the military base should also have studied psychology, and they can even answer better than others. So I designed 10 sets of psychological test papers for cold sale, and then combined all the tests. Then I'll analyze the people who might have problems and conduct a simulation test, Baya said. Simulation test? This is a popular test overseas. It's not based on theory but on behavior. A lot of behavior is based on the subconscious. This simulation will stimulate the subconscious, so that people can't think and react immediately. Or it will require a long time to think. It's a test of humanity, character, and motivation. Simply put, it's like a drill. But the people being tested won't know that it's a drill, Bayo explained. I understand. Talk to Leng Shuo when the time comes. I hope we can find the spy in your military. But there's a margin for error. Even if we make a mistake, we have to find Sheng Dongqing's men. Otherwise, they'll be a scourge. Bayo felt guilty. She realized the sorrow of being a leader. Sometimes, for the sake of the whole, she had to sacrifice some people's personal interests. She felt sorry for those who had been sacrificed, but she had to do it. She was worried that after being a leader for so long, after killing so many people, her heart would become cold and cruel. You've worked hard, Xing Buhua said, looking at her. She lowered her head and looked at the paper seriously. She was shrouded in sadness. She was so beautiful. He really liked her. He liked her so much that he would rather lie to her than let go. He also hoped that someone could protect her and continue to love her, didn't he? But Xing Buhua didn't want to think about it anymore. He lowered his head and corrected the papers with her. Asterisk in the car. Lu Shuang leaned on the windowsill and looked at the scenery outside. She had been away for half a year. Many shops had disappeared, and many more had appeared. She remembered when she was young. She wanted to become a house. She thought that a house could stay in its original place forever. Only when she grew up did she realize that the life of a house was at most 70 years. It was even more fragile than a human's life. Children were really naive and had the least worries. She passed by 2 children playing with each other. She really wanted to return to that innocent age. Shen Yan's phone rang, interrupting Lu Shuang's wild thoughts. She looked at Shen Yan. His brows were slightly furrowed, and there was a layer of harshness and firmness on his face. What's wrong? Shen Yan asked. Shen Tong, Jiang Yi bought a ticket to a land. He'll arrive in a land tomorrow. Him? Why would he come to a land? Shen Yan was surprised. I don't know. He disappeared for a year and suddenly reappeared. He came to a land as soon as he appeared. I also felt that it was suspicious, so I reported it to you immediately. I got it. Contact Invisible and follow him. He's Jiang Xingyu's second-in-command. He won't come to a land for no reason, Shen Yan ordered. Yes, I know what to do. Shen Yan hung up. Hey, Shen Yan, can you avoid me when you answer the phone or make a call in the future? You know that I don't have any good points, except that I have a big mouth. If you tell me any secrets, I won't be able to keep them. If you don't guard against me, don't blame me for not keeping secrets in the future. Lu Shuang reminded her. Shen Yan smiled happily. He liked her straightforwardness. So, after they separated in high school, he had never forgotten her. That day, when he knew that her father was going to introduce a boyfriend to her, he came immediately. He knew that although he had brought a lot of people with him that day and pretended to be arrogant, he was actually doing it for her. I don't know what's so funny. You're retarded, Lu Shuang said disdainfully and rolled his eyes at him. Shen Yan held her in his arms and kissed her. There it was again. It was too sticky. He kissed her and... Chapter 553. Lu Shuang pushed his chest and changed the topic. Well, Shen Yan, when are you going to have the parade? Have you arranged it? I have told them. They will report to me when they are ready. There will be a foreign ambassador coming tomorrow night, and I need to receive him, Shen Yan said. Will you show them the national treasure of our country? Lu Shuang thought of something and smiled. Yes, what are you thinking about? Look at you. Shen Yan was curious. Every time she smiled like this, it was when she started to be mischievous. Previously, there was an American president who went to Japan. The Japanese also showed him their national treasure, which was sumo wrestling. In the end, after watching for 4 hours, the 2 wrestlers were still hugging each other. The entire process was very boring and there was not a single bit of excitement. If you have a grudge against the foreign ambassador, then this is it. If you have a grudge against that foreign ambassador, you can arrange it. Lu Shuang grinned. Shen Yan also smiled. You are so creative. You can arrange the foreign ambassadors when they come in the future. Okay. I can give you the job of the director of the cultural center in a land. The director has to work. Give me the job of the deputy director. I just get paid and don't have to work. Don't I give you enough money? I checked your card last time. There is 5 billion in it. You are not short of money, Shinian said. Lu Shuang blinked his eyes. He spat. She was the legal representative of Sheniyan's company in Country X. The money was indeed transferred to her account. However, she did not know the number of the card or the password. She wanted to check it but did not have the authority. She did not have the authority for her own card. But thinking that it was not her own money, she did not care about it. How could he bring it up? Then can you give me the card? Lu Shuang asked without any expectations. I will give it all to you when we get married, Sheniyan promised. Lu Shuang sneered. He was flattering her again. Would he get a divorce? It was impossible. She understood very well. Men were all the same. Everyone wanted to be like Wei Xiaobao. The red flag at home did not fall, and the colorful flags fluttered outside. Furthermore, they were all capable and could help him. What was the difference between this and selling themselves? Besides, was she the kind of person who would marry for money? She rolled her eyes at him and ignored him. She logged into her QQ and saw that Angelica had left quite a few messages for her. What's wrong? Are you ignoring me again? What should I do with you? I'm taking off. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow? All right, seeing that he had taken good care of her in Country D, she would do her best as a host. Shinian, I have something to do tomorrow, Lu Shuang said. What's the matter? Shinian looked at her. I don't have to report everything to you. Lu Shuang was displeased. Shinian's eyes darkened. In the past he still had Xiaobao, so he could keep her. Therefore he was at ease to let her go out to play. He knew that she couldn't fly far. Now that Xiaobao had hidden her, he was really afraid that she would casually fly away. You don't want revenge anymore? Shinian asked. You haven't arranged the parade yet, have you? Lu Shuang asked back. So you think that your time is free, right? Shinian's voice turned cold. Am I not free? Lu Shuang was nervous and scared. It's not that you don't have freedom, but it will be very dangerous. Those who want to kill you and those who killed your mother are all watching you. Whenever you are alone, it may be the best time for them to take action. So it's better for you to stay by my side, understand? Shinian said righteously. I came back last night. Nothing happened to me, right? That's because no one knew that you were back. I only found out today. But now many people know that you are back. Don't run around. Where do you want to go? I will accompany you tomorrow, Shinian said in a gentle tone. Lu Shuang stared at Shinian, thinking about his words, and looked a little uncomfortable. Shinian knew that he had scared her, so he put his arm around her shoulder. All right, when we find the people who want to kill you, you will be safe. Lu Shuang pushed him away. Piggy. Sheniyan called her helplessly. Lu Shuang looked out of the window. Who did she offend? It seemed that since she met him 5 years ago, nothing good had happened to her. Seeing that she was ignoring him, Sheniyan took the initiative to approach her, and held her shoulder. She looked at his fair and slender hand, which was still wearing the same diamond ring as Hua Zixing's on the ring finger. She had a strange feeling of discomfort in her heart. Forget it, for the sake of revenge, she would bear with it. I have a friend coming tomorrow, and I want to see him. Can you send someone to protect me? Lu Shuang said softly. Is it a man or a woman? Sheniyan asked. A man, Lu Shuang said frankly. Sheniyan's heart skipped a beat, and his face darkened. I am free tomorrow, and I will accompany you to see him. It is not appropriate. You are the president, and I am at most your assistant. You are a married man, and you are the president of a married man. What will the media say if they are photographed accompanying a young assistant to meet a friend? I remember that you have been doing a lot of things recently. Do you not want to be the president anymore? Lu Shuang said bluntly. Sheniyan knocked her head. Lu Shuang was in pain, so he pushed her hard. Sheniyan was annoyed when she pushed him away. He frowned and said, Isn't it good for me to accompany you? Or do you think that I will be a hindrance to you? Why don't you have the self-awareness of being a husband every time? Is it appropriate for you to do this? Also, he is the person I like. Of course I am afraid that you will be a hindrance to us. Lu Shuang provoked and raised his voice. Shen Yan was so angry that she wanted to eat her up. She held her chin and said, I have explained to you that there is only an agreement between Hua Zixing and me, and we are not husband and wife. Do you really want to anger me to death? I don't even have the freedom to make friends? Lu Shuang was angry. That depends on what kind of friends you have. You don't even have the self-awareness of whose woman you are. How can I let you be a cuckold outside? Lu Shuang pushed his hand away. What cuckold? I think it is anyone's man who doesn't have the self-awareness. You and I can only be considered a casual relationship, not even a boyfriend and girlfriend. A casual relationship, right? It seems that you still don't understand it. Shen Yan said with reddened eyes. His whole body was enveloped in coldness. He twitched the corner of his mouth, which made one feel a little scared. Wait until you understand it clearly, then come and talk to me about the conditions. Who wanted to talk to him? Lu Shuang turned his face away and crossed his arms in front of his chest angrily. What would happen when a couple quarreled? A cold war, a breakup, and each living their own lives. At most, they would not contact each other. They could travel, read books, listen to music, play games, and meet up with friends to forget the hurt they had caused. Gradually, the hurt would fade, and they could start a new life. However, she had forgotten that Shen Yan was not an ordinary person. Lu Shuang only knew that this man was different from ordinary people after he was sent to the secret room. Chapter 554. Lu Shuang was infuriated, kicking the door in a frenzy. She was infuriated, baffled, and unable to accept it. Was Shen Yan crazy? Was he crazy? Why did he lock her up in a dark, enclosed space? What right did he have? What right did he have? She was trembling with anger. It had been the same in the past, forcing her to give birth to his child, forcing her to have sex with him, forcing her not to run away. It was still the same now. She had freedom, she respected freedom. She was her own, not anyone else's. Lu Shuang was about to explode. The entire corridor was filled with her cries. At midnight, Shen Yan finished work and called Colonel Chung. How is she? Did she say she wanted to see me? Colonel Chung had a troubled look on his face. No. Keep her locked up until she begs for mercy. Shen Yan was really angry and hung up. Hua Zixing came over with a glass of milk and said gently, It's time to rest. It's already midnight. Your body is your own. Shen Yan replied indifferently. He and Hua Zixing treated each other like guests. To him, they were just temporary guests. Where's Xiao Shuang? You haven't asked her to come out yet? Hua Zixing looked around. She should be suppressed or she's too arrogant. Shen Yan didn't hide his anger. That's enough. She's a little girl after all. It's inevitable to be willful, as long as it's not a big deal, Hua Zixing advised. A little girl? She'll be 30 after the new year. She's a few months older than me. Shen Yan was annoyed. Hua Zixing smiled. She's a girl after all. It's dark and cold in that secret room. She'll be afraid. Afraid? You're underestimating her. She's not afraid of anything in my eyes. She has to be suppressed or she'll tear the sky apart. She has no self-awareness at all. Shen Yan thought about how she said she loved another man, and he lost his rationality. He was always calm and collected, but every time he met her, he couldn't calm down. She's just used to being free. She'll get better in the future. She hasn't eaten dinner yet. The moment you came here, you suppressed her. How sad must she be? Hua Zihua advised gently. I know what I'm doing. I've already asked someone to send her dinner. There's nothing I can do if she doesn't want to eat. I've also sent her a blanket. If she doesn't know how to judge the situation, she'll be the one to suffer in the future. She only knows how to argue with me every day. She doesn't know who's good and who's bad and who's good to her. Ian frowned. Hua Zixing was still smiling, like a spring breeze. She will understand in the future. Take it slow. Haste makes waste. I know what to do. It's too late. Go back and rest. Do you want me to persuade her? After all, it's easier for women to communicate with each other, Hua Zixing said gently. She must be tired from all that. Let's talk about it tomorrow, Shen Yan said in a low voice. All right. You should rest early after drinking the milk. Hua Zixing didn't force her. She turned around and went back to her room. Shen Yan glanced at the milk and sighed. He thought about how angry she would be. She would probably want to kill him. He couldn't help but feel sorry for her. He went to the secret room. Hua Zixing's room, madam. I don't understand. Why are you still speaking up for that vixen? Gong Nanyue said angrily. Hua Zifeng calmly took off her outer jacket. A willful woman can get a man's love for a while, but not for a lifetime. There will always be times when a man is tired and irritated. A woman who is intelligent, generous, and considerate is a good partner that a man will choose for a lifetime. Without comparison, how can the heart be cold? I understand. That woman will definitely be hated by the president soon. After all, he's only in his 20s. I wonder which one he really needs, Hua Zixing said confidently. Shen Yan arrived at the door of the secret room and looked at Colonel Chung. She's asleep. Colonel Chung nodded. Open it, Shen Yan ordered. Lu Shuang was so tired that he had fallen asleep. When he heard the sound, he opened his eyes alertly. He sat up on the bed and looked at the door. A dim light shone in. Shen Yan stood in the light with his hands behind his back. He was full of the majesty of a king. Have you thought it through? Lu Shuang jumped off the bed and said angrily, Shen Yan, I'm not your prisoner. I didn't do anything wrong. You can't do this to me. Didn't do anything wrong? You're my woman now. You told me that you're going to see another man, and the man you love. Do you think you didn't do anything wrong? Shen Yan frowned. Illness comes from the mouth, and disaster comes from the mouth. Don't talk nonsense. Haven't you learned it? Lu Shuang looked at him sharply. So, are you suppressing me, warning me, or using force to enslave me? I want you to understand who I am to you and whose woman you are. If you don't understand this, you'll stay here forever, Shen Yan said firmly. Lu Shuang's lips curled into a sarcastic smile as he hid in the darkness. This was Shen Yan. He was arrogant, wild, arrogant, conceited, and self-centered. He was a tyrant in name only. If he didn't want to hear it, he could use punishment to shut people up. She shouldn't have been so impulsive. She shouldn't have challenged his authority. He wasn't the man who loved her. He couldn't tolerate her willfulness, arrogance, impudence, and unreasonable behavior. The man who loved her had died in Country D. There was no one by her side to guide her. She wouldn't be able to live on if she just relied on her passion and impulsiveness. She didn't want to stay here forever. After she got her revenge, she could go back to Country D with peace of mind and pursue her freedom in her life. I was wrong, Lu Shuang said confidently. He clenched his fists so tightly that the veins on the back of his hands were popping out. Shen Yan paused. She didn't expect him to admit his mistake so quickly. She used to treat the wrong as the right and keep going. It seemed that Lu Shuang, who had been through a lot of changes, was growing up. What did you do wrong? Shen Yan's voice softened. I have a bad temper. I'm too arrogant and I talk nonsense. The person I'm going to meet tomorrow is not the person I love. I'm just saying it casually. It's just an uncle who used to take care of me. Lu Shuang said simply. More the main point. Shen Yan stared at him. I'm your woman, okay? Lu Shuang said perfunctorily. Shen Yan frowned. Watch your tone. Tears welled up in Lu Shuang's eyes. He had to watch his tone. Being in the king's company was like living with a tiger. If his tone was not good, he would be killed. Chapter 555. She really wanted to go back to 5 years ago. At that time, her father was still the director of the hospital, and she was the most powerful person in the hospital. She wanted to stay with her parents, and she would not rent a house to live alone and pursue the so-called freedom. Shen Yan saw her lowering her head and sinking into sadness, and his heart also became sad. She must miss her parents. He walked towards her, knowing that he had gone too far by locking her in the little dark room today. But he was worried that Lu Shuang would easily walk away according to his unruly character. He held her hand, which was cold. He put her hand under his clothes and put it on his warm stomach. Lu Shuang wanted to pull her hand out, but he was afraid that he would be imprisoned here for the rest of his life. Anyway, his stomach was warm, and she felt very cold. It was not her who wanted to cover his stomach, but him who covered it for her. She looked up at him. The strength in Shen Yian's body dissipated. Under the dim light, his entire person became much gentler, like a jade tree under the cool breeze and bright moon. Lu Shuang calmed down. Shen Yian's beauty was very attractive, and it was indeed pleasing to the eye. Are you hungry? Shen Yian asked. Lu Shuang shook his head. You are still angry with me. Shen Yian looked at her helplessly. Angry? She was angry because no one had taught her. But when she thought that no one had taught her, she could not be as willful as before, because no one would care about her anymore. She needed to care about herself. I want to eat roast chicken, roast duck, roast fish, roast shrimp, roast beef, braised pork knuckle, and hot pot, Lu Shuang said with red eyes. It's not good for your health to eat such greasy food at night. Don't worry about getting fat. Shen Yian took her hand and walked away. Then what are you going to give me? Lu Shuang asked weakly. Okay, I'll satisfy you, but we need to disguise ourselves or we will be recognized by others, Shen Yian said, smiling at her. What was so funny? She didn't feel happy at all. Don't try to seduce me. You can beat me at my own game. I don't mind, Shen Yian said jokingly. Lu Shuang pursed his lips. He wanted to laugh, but then he remembered that they were still arguing, so he held it in. I don't want to reject anyone. Shen Yian tightened his grip. Do you think I'm dead? Didn't you ask me to beat you at your own game? Lu Shuang asked back. Looking at Shen Yian's defeated look, he felt a little better, and the corners of his mouth curled up slightly. He also knew that she was just saying it to satisfy her cravings. If she was lustful, he would not let her have the guts to do so. Who would dare to provoke her? Had they forgotten about his ability to pluck peach blossoms? However, seeing that she was in a good mood, he let her go and didn't try to argue anymore. Midnight, he took her to a buffet for supper with Colonel Cheng by his side. Colonel Cheng was worried to death. No one recognized him, but Shen Yian was different. He appeared on TV every other day, and was the youngest and most handsome president of a land. His appearance alone had won him a large number of fans. Shen Yian only changed into an ordinary down jacket, a cap, and a mask. So did Lu Shuang. They were wearing a couple's down jacket, a couple's cap, and a couple's mask. Excuse me, can I eat without taking off my mask? Colonel Cheng's heart was broken. They sat at the last table. Shen Yian and Lu Shuang sat at the last table, facing inside. Colonel Cheng was in charge of getting their food. Shen Yian held her hand tightly while eating. Excuse me, how can I eat when you hold my hand? Lu Shuang turned to look at Shen Yian, and said. Shen Yian picked up a piece of beef with the other hand and brought it to her mouth, coaxing. Ah! Lu Shuang opened his mouth and ate it. He stared at her with displeasure in his eyes. He was using his right hand and holding her right hand with his left. She was not left-handed, so how could she pick up food? The more she thought about it, the angrier she became. But she was also a little scared. When Shen Yian went crazy, even a lunatic would be scared. Let's change seats, Lu Shuang said. Huh? Shen Yian chuckled. What was he laughing at? Even if he was good-looking, she still wanted to beat him up. Fortunately, he agreed and swapped places with her. A sly look flashed in her eyes and her left hand held his right hand. Darling, I will always hold your hand, okay? Shen Yian looked at her bright and beautiful face. It was exactly the same as before. She looked cheerful but full of evil ideas. He liked her little tricks. He thought that she was smart, but in the end, it was all written on her face. At first, she was angry at him and said that she loved another man. Although he locked her up, he was still in a bad mood and almost did not eat dinner. But now his appetite was much better. He did not let her retreat. His right hand held her left hand tightly, as if he was holding happiness in his hands. He grabbed the fork and forked something to eat. Lu Shuang looked at him. Why wasn't this guy sullen? She picked up the beef balls from the hot pot. The beef balls were very slippery and difficult to pick up. She liked to see him make a fool of himself. This is delicious. Do you want to eat it? Lu Shuang asked with a smile. Yeah. Shen Yian leaned toward her and opened his mouth. Lu Shuang quickly stuffed it into his mouth and said with a muffled voice, You fork it yourself. He looked at her bulging cheeks. He had never paid attention to the way she ate. She was different from the ladies from the prestigious families that he had interacted with. He wanted to kiss her so badly. His Adam's apple bobbed up and down. He wanted to eat her up and keep her warm in his body every day. He forked a beef ball and put it into his mouth. That posture was noble and elegant. He was unhappy that there was nothing wrong with him. Thinking about it, in the past she was still his classmate, and everyone was equal. She was even his class representative. Why was she always a little higher than him? Now, she clearly felt what was a commoner and what was a prince. Shenian, when you were young, did you ever think that you would be the president? Lu Shuang asked curiously. When I was young, I knew that I would be the president in the future. I had this goal since I was in primary school, Shenian said seriously. Then why aren't you handing in your homework? Lu Shuang said in disdain. Shenian laughed. Don't I have you? Lu Shuang rolled his eyes. So he knew how hard it was for her to do 2 sets of homework every day. Well, President put on a mask. Colonel Chung saw a man walking over and said to Shenian. Shenian put on the mask defensively and turned her face inside. Excuse me, are you Lu Shuang? The man asked. Lu Shuang looked at him and sized up the handsome man in front of him. He felt that he looked familiar, but he couldn't remember where he had seen him. However, he looked quite handsome. He was wearing a white high-collared sweater. His skin was snow-white, and his short hair was clean. He even wore an earring. Could he be an idol? Chapter 556. Hello. Lu Shuang greeted her. Shenian held Lu Shuang's hand tightly, as if she didn't like her sweet tone. Ha ha ha, what a coincidence to meet you here. I've inquired about you before. I heard that you are a doctor in the military, the man said warmly. Lu Shuang was sure that he knew her. It was very novel. Although he didn't recognize her, she pretended to be familiar with him and looked behind her. Are you here to have hot pot with your friends? I'm working overtime. There are several colleagues in the company, so we are here to have supper together. The man explained. What do you do now? Lu Shuang was a talkative person, and he had something to talk about with everyone. Shenian felt that it was enough, so she held Lu Shuang's hand tightly again. I work in IT, and I have a good studio. She noticed that there was a strange man beside Lu Shuang, who was wearing a cap and a mask. It was quite strange that he was still wearing a cap and a mask in a hot pot restaurant. Is he your boyfriend? Lu Shuang saw the surprise in his eyes. She didn't want to be seen eating hot pot with the president. Many celebrities could have a lot of romantic stories when they ate hot pot. She didn't want to find something to do, so she explained, No, one of my patients has been in a bad mood recently. Yes. Lu Shuang pointed at his brain. He has trypophobia, and he doesn't like to see people or be seen by others. Ha ha, I see. Well, is it convenient for you to give me your phone number? The man asked. Oh. Lu Shuang didn't think much about it. She was looking for her bag. Shenian looked at Lu Shuang with a gloomy face and said, It's not convenient for her. Lu Shuang remembered that she didn't bring her bag, and her phone was in her bag, so it was not inconvenient for her. I'm sorry, I forgot to bring my phone. It's okay. The man handed over his business card. Contact me when you are free, and we can get together. Oh. Lu Shuang took his business card. Seeing the name, he remembered who he was. He was the one she had said she wanted to get into high school with when they were in junior high. He was the one she had feelings for in junior high. However, she didn't know why he fell sick and didn't even take the high school entrance exam with her. She didn't expect that he would become so handsome, start a company, and take the initiative to look for her. Her market has improved again. Before she could feel proud of herself, Shen Yian snatched the business card from her hands. With a dark face, he threw the business card into the bin and looked at her sharply. Although she wasn't smart, she still had good eyesight. This guy is angry again. It wasn't natural for him to be jealous. Men were always like that. Once they were in bed, they would think that it was his. She had never felt that she belonged to him. His wife was as beautiful as a fairy. Moreover, in her impression, Shen was a playboy. Why didn't he reflect on himself? She pretended not to see his anger, and continued to eat. Colonel Chung, let's go. Shen said in a low voice and walked in front. Lu Shuang thought about it. Since he was full, he followed behind Shen. Colonel Chung was at the bottom. When Lu Shuang went out, Shen had already opened the car door, and was standing beside it coldly. She got into the car. Colonel Chung heaved a sigh of relief. Finally, he was safe. To be on the safe side, he checked the surveillance cameras to make sure that no one was following them, and that no one was taking pictures. His phone rang. It was from Shen. Deal with it. Don't let there be any future trouble. Just tell them that she's married, Shen ordered. Colonel Chung understood. He walked to the man and nodded with a smile. My wife said that she's sorry that she didn't treat you to her wedding. She'll treat you to a full moon party next time. The man. So she's married. That's right. How could she not be married? I got it. Tell her that I'll definitely go back. The man was free and easy. After all, he was not invested in it. Lu Shuang was full. He leaned against the chair, and did not want to move. Tomorrow, should she meet Jiang Yi or not? He looked at Shen. His face was dark and cold. He tightened his jaw and suppressed his anger. Hey Shen. Lu Shuang called him. He looked at her unhappily. She felt that it was not good for him to be angry. I don't even know that person. I pretended to know him, Lu Shuang explained. You gave him your phone number if you didn't know him? Shen frowned. He found that since she ran away half a year ago, he loved her even more. He could not let the possibility of losing her exist. He was determined not to let it happen. Am I stupid? I know I didn't bring my phone with me. I don't remember his phone number. I have to pretend to be friendly so that I won't be embarrassed, right? You don't have to be friendly to a man you don't know. It doesn't matter if he's embarrassed. We won't meet again anyway, Shen said coldly. Got it. I'll be careful next time. I won't give my phone number to any superstar or superstar in the future. Okay. Lu Shuang promised. Shen saw that she was obedient. She said earnestly, You're going to be my wife in the future. I'm not restricting your right to make friends. But that man obviously wants to pursue you. You don't have to care about him. Do you understand? Lu Shuang thought of Shen wife, Hua Zixing. That girl looked soft and weak, like a fairy. He felt that she was a little pitiful. If you marry me, what will happen to your wife? Lu Shuang was puzzled. It's stated in our agreement that we will be married for 4 years. She will help me stabilize my position, and I will help her stabilize her family's position. After 4 years, I will arrange for her to leave. She has a man she likes. She told me herself. Shen explained. She felt guilty towards his wife. She felt ashamed of what she did. But after hearing what Shen said, she felt much better. She did not feel that she was stealing someone's love. Who does she like? I think the person she likes must be very happy. Your wife is so beautiful that I want to turn gay. Shen looked at her in disdain. Do you have a straight one? A crafty glint flashed across Lu Shuang's eyes as she waved at him. Shen face turned green and white. He leaned over and kissed her on the lips. Lu Shuang was shocked and pushed him away. He held her hand and asked, Who do you think is prettier? Me or Hua Zixing? Lu Shuang was speechless. This guy, don't tell me he's even jealous of women. She was just talking nonsense. Wasn't it just a joke? How could he take it seriously? A wise man submits to circumstances. She would definitely say him in front of him. Both husband and wife were beautiful in their own way. One was as gentle as water, while the other was seductive. One was beautiful enough to topple a country, while the other could turn all living things upside down. Chapter 557. Lu Shuang felt that he was an extroverted person. He was able to crack all kinds of jokes without feeling awkward or reserved. But Shen was like this. Colonel Chung was still driving in the driver's seat. She was so thick-skinned, but now she was blushing. Her palms were burning hot, as if she was holding a cigarette butt. She wanted to pull her hand away, but he pressed it down. Shenyan. Lu Shuang called out in a coquettish tone. Huh. It's not like you haven't done it before. Have you forgotten that you used to? Before he could finish, she was too embarrassed and annoyed, so she simply covered his mouth to stop him from continuing. Shenyan liked it when she took the initiative to kiss him. He changed from being passive to taking the initiative. He pressed the back of her head, and his red tongue entered her mouth. He swallowed her breath, and all of it entered his body. He could not stop kissing her. Shenyan did not hide his desire, and his breathing became heavier and heavier. Lu Shuang did not want to admit it, but this guy's kissing skills were too good. They had a lot of common memories. He was her first and only man, and she had been in a relationship with him for a long time. Although she had no choice but to be with him, and she also felt aggrieved, she still had to live on. She would just treat it as if she had been with a high-class celebrity for a long time. His looks and skills were considered rare treasures. Moreover, he would always consider her. In this aspect, they were quite compatible. She was already at the age of maturity, and she had experienced what she needed to experience. Didn't they say that one would be like a wolf at 30? Many of the reactions of the body followed the rules of nature. She was very hot from his kiss, and she moved back. Shenyan, let's go back. Let's go back. Shenyan did not let go of her, and he went even further. He unbuckled the buckle on her back. Shenyan. Lu Shuang raised his voice. Your men are still watching. If you do not do the right thing, your subordinates will do the wrong thing. Shenyan. Colonel Chung. He just couldn't help it. Besides, he didn't want to show his woman to others. He was sure that Colonel Chung couldn't see her. Got it. He released her. Lu Shuang fastened the buckle on his back. His face was strangely red, hidden in the darkness. He could ask Colonel Chung to get out of the car and continue. Besides, he thought. But seeing that she was a little angry, he still held back. The foreign ambassador will come tomorrow night. I have time tomorrow at noon. I can accompany you to meet your friend at noon. Shenyan took the initiative to propose. It's just a meeting between commoners. We'll just have a casual meal, and take him for a stroll. With your appearance, it feels like there's a huge commotion. With so many soldiers, my friend will be scared to death. So you want to go by yourself? Shenyan asked, his eyebrows slightly furrowed. Lu Shuang didn't want to cause more trouble, so he took the initiative to hold his arm and said coquettishly, Shenyan, you're the best, right? If you're photographed, it'll be hard for you to explain. I'm doing this for your own good, right? There's still a long way to go. There was still a long way to go. Why did she use this idiom again? Shenyan looked at her, and thought that she was a little weird. He knew that she had ulterior motives, which was why she was acting coquettishly and sucking up to him. But he liked it. When he heard her soft and numb tone, he also became charming. Call me hubby. Lu Shuang. This girl, she was asking for a mile after being given an inch. If she called him hubby, it would be too shameless. He had a wife at home. Kiss. Lu Shuang only said one word. Obviously, Shenyan felt that it wouldn't work. Nowadays, people were calling for kisses everywhere on the internet, even people they didn't know. Darling. Lu Shuang added a few more words. Shenyan still wasn't satisfied. Didn't kiss and darling mean the same thing? She was treating him as a stranger. Don't you know what to call me? Shenyan reminded him. Lu Shuang pursed his lips. I'm just worried that I'll make you sound old, right? Really? His lips curled up. I think you don't want to go out tomorrow. Lu Shuang had no choice but to kiss him on the cheek. Well, I'm not used to it. After all, you have a wife. She's at most my business partner. I've made it very clear to you, Shenyan explained. But it's legal. You know, I hate mistresses and mistresses the most. I've already made an exception for you. It's not right for a dove to take over a magpie's nest. No, it's not right for a dove to take over a magpie's nest. Lu Shuang couldn't think of a more appropriate idiom. He paused for a moment, but still couldn't remember. Shenyan looked at him patiently. It's quite shameless for me to call you husband when your wife is still here. Lu Shuang said it straightforwardly. He didn't think of an idiom to express it. He understood what she meant. I got it. My men will protect you secretly tomorrow. Don't do anything out of line. Shen Yan agreed. Lu Shuang heaved a sigh of relief. Don't forget about the military parade. Okay, we should be able to set the time on Monday, Shen Yan replied. Lu Shuang retracted his hand, shifted his butt, and looked out of the window with his back facing her. Without her in his arms, he felt a little cold. He hugged her shoulders and leaned against him. Lu Shuang was too lazy to struggle. He closed his eyes and fell asleep. She knew that the car had stopped, but she was too lazy to wake up. Soon, they arrived at the President Palace. He got out of the car first. Lu Shuang opened his eyes. Do you want me to carry you? Shen Yan asked. She felt that it was not good to be too overboard. Showing off their affection in front of his wife would hurt her. Although it was just an agreement, it was not good. No need. She pushed open the door on the other side and came down. The wind blew. It was very cold. She ran in with her neck shrunk. When she returned to her room, she looked at the time. Damn, it was already 2 o'clock. She went into the bathroom to take a shower. Just as she was standing under the tap, Shen Yan pushed open the door and came in with his clothes. Doesn't your room have a bathroom too? Lu Shuang asked unhappily. Of course it's to wash with you, Shen Yan said matter-of-factly. He took off his clothes and hugged her slender waist. The feeling was really different from before. In the past, after she gave birth, she was a little chubby and soft like cotton. Now he could feel her bones, but he still liked her. He liked her no matter what she looked like. Lu Shuang felt that he had come back to life. He pressed against her stomach. His eyes did not hide his desire and infatuation. The temperature in the bathroom rose instantly. Lu Shuang knew that he wanted to continue what he had not finished in the car. But she had already passed the impulsive stage. Now that the temperature had cooled down, she did not want it anymore. She took a step back. It's late. This night carried a hint of rejection. Chapter 558. Don't you want to work all day? Lu Shuang teased him. Shen Yan smiled. I want to work all day too. Firstly, my body can't do it. Secondly, I don't have a partner when you're not around. If you're around, I'm afraid you won't be able to take it. Lu Shuang paused. He understood what he meant. This guy was driving again. She grabbed the tap and splashed it on his face. Shen Yan hugged her and kissed her. Lu Shuang treated the water faucet as a weapon, charging at him. Shen Yan wasn't annoyed or stopped her. He held her breasts with both hands and sucked them into his mouth, just like a baby. Lu Shuang. Shen Yan, your brain must be filled with sex. She continued to kiss him. He was annoyed and snatched the tap away. Stop fooling around. She wanted to cry. She hadn't been fooling around. She had rejected him seriously. He didn't give her a chance to turn on the tap again. He carried her to the bed. She was much lighter than before. His heart ached a little. He had spent so much effort to take care of himself. But after going out for half a year, he came back as a bag of bones. Luckily, he was back. Lu Shuang pushed him. Water. I'm still wet. He parted her breasts and said meaningfully, Yeah, I can see that. Lu Shuang. She grabbed the pillow and threw it at him. He hugged the pillow and placed it under her waist. He quickly took off his clothes and kissed her lips. His hand moved down her waist and found it easily. Lu Shuang thought of a story he had read before. There was a little girl who had never eaten a cake before. One day she ate it. Although she was terrified before, after eating it, she realized that the taste of the cake was extremely delicious. When she was hungry, there was cake to eat. Hence, when she was hungry in the future, she would crave for cake. When she was hungry, she would crave the cake even though she knew it belonged to someone else. When someone gave her cake, she would eat it even though she knew she shouldn't eat it. Sometimes human nature was like this. It took a lot of effort and determination to resist beautiful things, but it was very easy not to resist. She had always been a casual person. She felt that she might be Uncle Lu's IQ. It was easy for her to find a comfortable way to convince herself to live a carefree life. The cake made by Shen Yan was exquisite, unique, and unparalleled. He had been eating it for 2 years. If he didn't eat it now, He would be too pretentious and pretentious. When the overwhelming number of cakes assaulted her, she was dazed. Her mind was in a whirl, and her thoughts were no longer clear. She opened her mouth and bit his shoulder. Shen Yin looked at her in his arms. He liked her. She was by his side. He allowed her to bite him to the extreme. When she woke up, it was already 11:15. F***ck. What happened to meeting a friend? She was harassed by Shen Yin until 4 o'clock in the morning. Only when he was comfortable could she sleep well. Shen Yin was so unrestrained. In ancient times, she would also be unrestrained. If it became a habit, it was really, she was annoyed, distressed, and annoyed. She didn't brush her teeth or wash her face. She reflected for a while before picking up her phone to check the number Jiang Yi had sent her. She called him. Hello. Jiang Ye's voice came from the other end of the phone. It was a penetrating and mature voice. It was a voice that gave people a sense of security. He was the male god that she had taken a liking to and wanted to develop. Alright, there was probably no chance. She was already having sex with Shen Yin. How annoying. However, even if there was no hope, they would still be friends. Moreover, the other party did not know about her evil thoughts. Thank God for giving her a brain full of hair. In addition to concealing her plain IQ, it also concealed her fantasies. I'm sorry. I just woke up. Lu Shuang said apologetically. Jiang Yi chuckled. I guessed it. You didn't reply to me yesterday. I went to play games yesterday and fell asleep after playing for a while. I'm sorry. Where are you now? Lu Shuang asked. He lifted the quilt, got up and walked to the bathroom. International Hotel in City A. Are you coming out? Of course, I am indebted to you for taking care of me when I was in D country. Maybe in the future, I will continue to rely on your help in D country. We are good neighbors. Now that you have come to my country, I will definitely treat you well. By the way, have you found the girlfriend that you said ran away? Why is she in country A? I have never seen you with a girlfriend before. Hee, Lu Shuang said with a smile. There was a moment of silence on Jiang Ye's end. She guessed that he hadn't found his girlfriend and was gossiping. Send me your room number. I will be there in an hour. Lu Shuang hung up to avoid embarrassment. Sigh. She sighed, looked at herself in the mirror, and brushed her teeth. When she was in high school, she had a crush on a handsome boy with good grades in her class. Whenever that boy looked at her, she would have a lot of pink bubbles popping out of her head. Especially if they met on the road by chance. She felt that it was fate that was destined by the heavens. In the end, she didn't manage to wait for her fate. She was drowned in the endless examination papers. After that, the boy got into the best university. She thickened her skin and asked for his phone number and QQ. In the end, he didn't even need them anymore. He had long forgotten her in the long river of history. But it didn't matter to her. Anyway, she had forgotten his appearance. After she went to university, her career started to improve. Because she wasn't serious about love, she just fooled around. Before she had enough fun, God sent the devil, Shen Yin. Now, she had passed the ignorant age of high school, which was full of fantasy and infinite possibilities. She was more mature and rational when it came to love. As she grew older, she became more and more cautious. Moreover, her past was not very upright, especially when she had been the woman behind Shen Yin's back for 2 years. She knew that Jiang Yi might be very suitable for her, so she didn't dare to act rashly. Chasing after someone, chasing after a celebrity. These kinds of things were done when one was young and invincible. Now one was old. She brushed her eyes and washed her face. She didn't look too good. Women, after all, always wanted to be beautiful when they went out. She put on her exquisite makeup and chose a red dress with a pair of fluffy red short hair. She let her hair down and looked pretty good. She opened the door and realized that Shen Yin wasn't there. She ran outside in her high heels. Why are you running? Shen Yin opened the door of the study and looked at her with his arms crossed. Lu Shuang turned to look at him. It's almost midnight. I won't make it. Of course I have to run. Shen Yin stared at her exquisite makeup. His eyes turned cold and his pupils contracted. His face was tense. Lu Shuang, you're almost 30. Is it appropriate to dress like a little girl? There's no little girl here. Lu Shuang was speechless. You're tuning in to the Echoes of the Heart YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.